Huh. Hi, Aniki. How was your day today? Was it good? Was it bad? Did it suck? My day was pretty honest. Can I be real with you? I haven't slept since 2 a.m. Well, I slept for like 30 minutes. But I originally haven't slept since around like not 2, maybe like 6 a.m. today. I spent the entire morning but I spent the entire like Saturday working on the incentives and like some of the rewards for the subathon. I've done most of it. I've distributed everything. I've sent all like I've sent all of the original stuff, all of the requests and everything. And I prepared for a Valentine's stream on Saturday. There was a lot of stuff. There was unironically a lot of stuff. Then what else did I do? I patched up the game. And then I made sure that I made a backup file of my Majora's Mask save. Just in case I failed. Because I grinded to get fairies. I don't want to do that again. And I finally found the missing key that I did not have during the last stream. So I was smart this time. And I made a backup save that I could just replace in my files whenever I want, so that I don't have to like struggle. Yeah, but I don't actually know if it means the game is over. Like, do you just go into the boss fight in Majora's Mask after you get every single mask? It was like, I think I'm only like one room away from the boss room, and then like it's over. No more. When I'm already in the last tower of Majora's Mask. What else do I have? Let me read the highest first. Before I forget anything. Let me scroll down. Hi, Arrow. Hi, Spooky. Hi, Zanaries. Hi, Danny. Hi, Frizzy. Hi, Tula Glider. Hi, Frost King. Hi, Kyo. Hi, Vincent. I am Nos City. Hi, Slogan. Hi, KBJ. Hi, K-Stars. Hi, Red Scarlet. Hi, Kuro. Hi, Katzilla. Hi, Project. Hi, Bimdal. Hi, Dungeon Allen. Hi, Space of the Master. Thank you, Bimdal. Thank you, Cassie, for the subs. Thank you. Thank you, Area. Look for this for the follow. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, and like the other day I also finished Breath of the Wild. I'm finally done with the game. So now the next time I go, it's probably Wednesday. Doctor's appointment. I'm gonna pick up Tears of the Kingdom. I think I've played like most Zelda games already, excluding the ones on the DS. Yeah, not the ones on the DS, because it's pretty hard to get a hold of DS games. Then number one, I'm also lazy to stream DS games because, you know, double monitor. Hi, Vendino. Hi, Aniki. Well, I'm allergic to... Thank you, Black and Blue, for the follow. Thank you. I'm like allergic to using double monitor. Like, I have to swap between like the main game and like the sub. And I think it's like, I don't know. Whenever I watch PS streams, I'm always like a little distracted because I always feel like the game is so small. I could barely see it. So I think I avoid DS streams That's why I don't also stream a lot of DS games. I think I've only streamed like one DS game. But even so, I did not finish it. But who knows? Maybe I will. Eventually. Men is coming? I don't know. This stream wouldn't... Like, my stream wouldn't fucking open. Like, when I was trying to open the game sometimes, it wouldn't open. And then it wouldn't open for... And then my first Majora's Mask save file got corrupted. And then when I grinded Majora's Mask, you know, it didn't load my save. And I thought it got corrupted, but it didn't. It was saved to the back. It was really weird. Like, I've had quite the weird... Thank you, Pachi, for the raid. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hi, my name is Rina. I stream mostly retro games, Souls-like games, ROM hacks. I think it's the first way I actually, like, am loyal to what I'm advertising. But thank you for the raid. I've had a good stream. What are you guys streaming? Let me check it real quick. Let me take a look. You're streaming oh, I love Terraria. Well, I only actually completed Terraria in like the easiest difficulty. But I still like Terraria. It's pretty fun. I prefer it more than Minecraft. Hi, Ghost of Vitality. Thank you for the raid. If you guys have to rest, please rest well. Understand streams might be long. Might need to take a break. So I completely get it. And yeah, please rest well if you need to. But if you want to backseat me on how to beat the Stone Tower boss, please feel free to, because being honestly real, there's a lot of stuff in Majora's Mask I do not want to repeat. So I'd rather get backseated than like fail on my own. So don't worry. I've evolved from being I have money now. Actually, no. I do not have money now. That was a lie. It was a lie. But I did used to have a vampire model because I did not have any money. So I would use a pre-made model that was a vampire. We have slightly more money now. Actually, no, we don't have money. We spend it all on the VTuber model. We spend it all on the VTuber model and like the background. There's no money left. In terms of money, we have none. We have none. We use it all on VTuber assets. They're expensive. Exactly, we use all of it. We get money and we use it all on upgrading our like streams. And then, you know, you're back to having no money. That's the circle. You get money, and then you spend the money back to VTubing, and then you don't have any more money. That's basically my life as a VTuber. I think I spend most of my... I think I spend at least like 70% of what I make on VTubing back on VTubing. So, you know, you spend money. The circle of VTubing. You basically toss around money to the same artists, and they spend it on VTubers, and then like it's a circle. I guess the circle doesn't really come back to me, as most of the artists that I work with are Japanese or they're Chinese. Because I admit I have a bit of trauma when it comes to using VGen because of, you know, I've seen some people post about how many times they needed to do like a PayPal chargeback, or how many times they never got their money after commissioning someone. I admit I'm also a victim. Not that many times, but not like a huge amount of like being ghosted. And the only time people would respond to me was when I would threaten a PayPal chargeback. I checked Saria, and I think that sucks. Like, it's not like I've never gotten like a delayed commission from a Japanese artist, but the proportion is significantly lower. Yeah, it's significantly lower, that's why. Oh yeah, one more shameless plug. Please forgive me for being I know I'm pretty annoying. And I'm pretty shameless about it. But if you didn't know, there's only 2 more days for the Rina Fumo to be released. There's only 2 more days. So if you're thinking, oh my god, like, oh my god, can I still get a... Yes, you can. For 2 more days. I was able to get a 1-week extension on my makeshift campaign. But after this, there's no more extension. You know, what's gone is gone. Like, it's over, it's done. No more Rina Fumo. That's it. It's gonna be gone forever. And then you have to wait until June for it to be shipped out. But they will be made. You know, given a 4 month, but they will be made. So if you're thinking like 2, 6, 6, 7. Okay, nobody buy anymore. Nobody buy any more Rina Fumos. It's June 15 now. They extended it by 1 week. Wait, let me refer. Who bought 2? I can't see, but so far, I'm amazed. We've sold. Thank you, Tetsu Bread, for the subscribe. Thank you. Happy 14 months. We've sold what? For almost 500 Rina. That's insane. That's this insane amount of Rina Fumos. That is amazing. Well, if you're thinking, oh my god, what if I can't afford a Rina Fumo, but I still want to buy Rina merch? Don't worry. You got 2 more Fumos for the 6. Thank you. Like, don't worry, because we have this. You know, I've also have stuff on Uwu Market. You definitely... If you're gonna suffer from Uwu Market, trust. You definitely should get the new releases. So that we have gift cards. Yeah. So, because you might win a gift card. That might be cool. And you have a discount to buy even more Rina merch. Well, these aren't limited. Like, I'm gonna zoom out. Like, these are here forever. Like, everything you're seeing now, the shirts, like the shirts, the hoodies, the mouse pad, the blanket, the keychains, all of this is here forever. So you don't have to worry about it. Like, you don't have to worry about it. It will always be here. If we don't reach the goal, there's no pressure. It will not disappear. You know, just shamelessly plugging it. But this will be gone. You won't see this anymore. Now, this won't be here anymore. It's gone forever. So, you know, think about it. You have around like 2 more days. And after that, there's no more Rina Fumo. Although I am hoping that eventually I could release maybe another Rina plush based off my lolly model. You know, maybe. Hi Abo, thank you for the follow. Like, that is being extremely ambitious. That is being extremely ambitious. I could release another Fumo. But I hope that I can do it. You know, maybe one day. Maybe one day I can release another one. That would be pretty cool, like 2 Fumos. Though I don't know anyone who's released more than 1 plush with makeshift. But I'm glad that my first plush was with makeshift. It's very high quality, and I'm very satisfied with it. So, I'm very looking forward to all of the Rina Fumos getting shipped. You know, later this year. Well, middle of this year. Like around 5 months. We can do 5 Fumos. You're gonna hit the 200 gold trust again. I don't know if we can do it again. I'm pretty scared. I don't have confidence in myself. Maybe doing it once. Maybe I was just lucky. Doing it twice. Not sure if I could do it twice. It would be pretty cool, but I don't know if I could do it twice. I don't have a lot of belief in myself. Anyways, What's the plan? We're gonna be playing Majora's Mask. And for once, I am in the right category. Because I did not get lazy. And I'm also trying to test out something. Let me just... Tell me if the volume's alright. Oh my god. I was wondering, why isn't the volume working? Mom, why isn't the volume working? Never mind. And I have a few extra hearts from the last stream. If you're wondering, how overprepared could you be? The answer is yes. Hi, Eugen. You look at this. You see this. I have six fairies. There's unironically no wait. I need to do something. I need to search the Majora's Mask songs. Because I do not memorize the songs. And there's like a lot of them that I need to know. The one of emptiness. I think I get it. Let me just see if it works. I don't know if it's flipped or not. I already forgot. No, that's not it. Yummy. Oh, thank you. No, maybe it's because... Hi, Shizuka. Hi, Eugen. Hi, Phantom Rose. Maybe it was like a... You know, Twitch sometimes randomly removes your follows. Then we have Ben Drowned. And we have the Goron mask. If you had to pick between being a Zora... Wait, I realized there's no Rito in this game. They only have Zora, Deku, and Gorons. You know, I wonder why they stopped making Deku. Is it because Deku is a slur? And I always feel like whenever people talk about Dekus in the Zelda universe, it's like a slur. Like, ew. It's a fucking Deku. Hi, UFO fighting. Like, was there no Rito yet by... Was there no Rito yet by this game? And where's my burps? Like, when Majora's Mask was released, but there's no Rito. But I have to remember. God, it's only been like a day and I already forgot the controls. Hi, Dennis. Not really. Did I miss? I did miss. Man, this always like makes me tense. But then I remember I can't jump here like I can jump through Breath of the Wild. No, this girl, I already gotten the key. I was just shaking my why is it vibrating? I haven't encountered anything yet. Yeah, I've already been through here. Yeah, I wanted to be prepared for my Majora's Mask streams. Because I actually like the game a lot. You know, I think it's cool for once. It's very rare you have a Zelda game. Oh, thank you, Diana. Oh, shit. Thank you, Dianco, for the raid. You're up early. Hi, my name is Rina. I play... Wait, I'm mental blocking. Hi, my name is Rina. I play a lot of retro games. I like Souls-like, like ROM hacks. And I hope you had a very good stream. How was it? What were you guys streaming today? You're up really early, aren't you? Because you usually always start very late for me. And it's not very late for me for once. Wait, 5 mental block. Yeah, I hope you had a good stream. What were you guys streaming? What rumors? That some streamers broke up? I read Scarler. Raid Revenge on... I never get to fucking raid Dianco because of the time zones. Maybe I'll just stream a bit later. When I have a job. Thank you, generic username, for gifting the sub. Thank you. Wait, where am I? But I could hang on... I didn't know that I could hang on this. I only thought I could hang myself. It's turned to be a hoax. Oh. What's wrong with having no power? Apart from no internet and no Rina stream. Wait, what was I gonna do? Yeah, I used to stream longer hours when I could actually stream longer hours. I feel like if I lost electricity for like 3 days, I would go insane. I would go crazy. I'm someone who's really dependent on the internet. Wait, global? No, that's not real. That's some schizo shit. Hello, Marisu. I am, cause that's even more schizo than me, and trust me. I used to actively post on 4chan. And that's way more schizo. If it makes you feel better, I don't believe in bugs. I don't believe in mosquitoes. Like, unironically, I do not believe that all mosquitoes are real mosquitoes. I think some mosquitoes are actually spies. Because China has like new technology where... They have new technology now where they make mosquitoes into like robots. So now I really don't believe in mosquitoes. You know, call me crazy. No, it doesn't flip. Yeah, apparently it's like real now. When they make spies out of like mosquito-looking creatures. But they aren't mosquitoes. They have to be real. No, see, exactly. You wouldn't know they're mosquito. They don't have to suck. They just have to fly around you. You know you try to kill mosquitoes, but then you don't actually kill them because they're too fast? Yeah, that's basically mosquitoes. Or well, spy mosquitoes. But you know, maybe that's thoughts, you know, for someone like me who's not medicated. Wait, I'm confused when I look at the roof. I don't get it. How do you put in the other side? Why does your name look like a slur? If it makes you feel better, neither do I. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I don't know if this is... Wait, I think it's already there. Who's wrong? Rinachi has always been on top. Oh, because I already flipped it. My memory is so bad. What's a krill? Is that a type of bug? Or is that the name of the thing? These little guys. I don't think they're too bad. My least favorite type of monster in Zelda is the Linnels. Because I was playing Breath of the Wild, right? I couldn't beat the fucking Linnels. Like, I found Ganon in Breath of the Wild to be relatively easy. But like, the Linnell? Fuck the Linnell. I literally challenged Ganon with 2 bows. And the power of believing in myself. You know, sometimes I wonder what it would be like. The Gleeok. Which one's the Gleeok again? I don't remember the names. Because I really don't like them. Is that the fat ones? The big-headed dragon. I don't think I remember that one. I don't think I remember seeing that. I got most of this shrine, but I don't think I remember seeing that one. Or maybe I must have ignored it. Oh no, I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. I've never seen it. No, not yet, not yet. I haven't played that one yet. I will eventually. Very soon. Because I did really like Breath of the Wild. Though my Breath of the Wild took me like 50 hours. I'm assuming Tears have come a bit more because of the construction system. Link to the Past. Is that the one where the hair is like pink? I always get confused between Link's Awakening and the Link to the Past. If it's the one on the GBA, then yes, I have. The one where he has pink hair, I have played that one. I always get confused with it. Yeah, I have to look at the storm of songs. Thank you, NSQ and QS Eagle for the follow. Straight here. And then, is that the one with pink hair and it got a GBA remake? And I'm pretty sure that was ported into GBA. I'm pretty sure that was ported into GBA. I gotta switch. No, the remake was Link's Awakening for the Switch. I'm pretty sure. Not a Link to the Past. That one's different. Though I've always wanted to play a Link Between Worlds. And I'm hoping that it will get like a remake of some sort. Or a Switch 2 port. Because it's really hard to find like physical 3DS games. And I feel like with 3DS games, they really are best played on the actual console. No, but I know there's a game on the Switch that is a direct sequel of A Link Between Worlds. Or A Link Between Worlds is the sequel, I'm not sure. There's a thing. Turn around. I think it should turn around. Bullshit. Link lost to Ganondorf. I always get confused with the timeline, so I don't bother anymore. And so I just play every single game. Wait, how do you turn around? Is it done? Is it flipped? How do you make this turn around and die? How is it not dead? How do you do this one? I enter. I know something you have to make it flip. I don't know how. That's the most insufferable thing ever. Why is it? Oh my god. Hi, Jackie. That's so annoying. Like, what? It just flipped. You can't even reach it from here. This is so bullshit. This is so dumb. This must be like the worst placement of a fucking enemy I've ever seen. In Majora's Mask. I don't get it. Why does it flip? And it's stupidly fast too. Like for no reason. How do you even handle this? Like holy fuck. Like what is this boss do? It doesn't even do any. It's just a regular enemy that flips over. Oh my god, wait. Let me watch a video. How did they do this? This has to be the stupidest. What happened? Oh my god. What do you mean not responding? What do you mean you're not responding? What the fuck? Wait, let me open.
Mess with this guy unless we hit him from far away, so let me just take out my light arrows now. As you can tell, I prefer my light arrows over my normal arrows, not only because it does more damage, but because I have infinite magic, so I don't even have to worry. But have him slam into you upside down. That's what you do with the death armor.
How did he do it so simple? How did he do it with no struggle? See, why didn't mine work? Well, I also did the same thing he did. You know, I'm just gonna leave. I don't remember how to do this one. Well, I don't remember. Oh my god. What? He has red eyes. Wait. Oh my god, I'm so rough. How are you still alive? Nighttime lurkings. Oh, I was way too rough. It's been down there. Bends down to fuck. That's bullshit. I barely did anything. Recovery herb my ass. What? Oh shit. God, I gave myself a stroke. Wait, what? Oh my god. Oh shit. Let's just go down. There's no fear here. Oh my god, what is that? Trust me. Is it not? They aren't real. No, I know you're real. Okay, fuck. This is the boss room. I just jumped down. Where the fuck am I? What the fuck is that? Someone tell me, how do you do this one? Hang on, Dutch. What do I do? What do I shoot? That's the ugliest fucking stick I've ever seen. I do have a giant's mask. I do remember that you should be wearing a giant's mask. Okay, I've done it. What the fuck? Now what do I do? Now what? I've done it. I'm big now. How do you grab him? They're just passing by me. Shoot until it's up. What do you mean? What's the point of being being big? It doesn't even take damage. Hi, Batman. Thank you for the follow. The tip of the tail. Is it taking damage? Oh, I see. Why does this feel so stupid? Do I have to kill them both at once? I feel like the head thing is not really working. How many hits is it? I feel like I did a lot. I can't see. This is just a ridiculous... Oh shit. Is it dead? What about the other one? Where's the other one? was supposed to be huge. Wait, that was it? Wait, that's it? That's the boss? I am Armor Shaper. I am really simple. Wait, that's it? Where's the heart? It was... Oh, give me I cheesed it. Well... No one has to know that. Nobody has to know that. No one has to know. How will no one has to? No one will know. No one will know. No one has to know. No one will know. I collected everything not knowing what it was for. Yeah, but the blue bar isn't that hard because you could always farm near the stone tower in like the entrance of the Akana castle. Because it drops around like 50 rupees each. You keep going inside and outside. Like to farm the chateau. And you have to go there for the mirror shield. So I think it's hard. For a special mask. Do I not need it? Call us. That's what they're saying. Without being told, we understand. So now you'll help us out in exchange. We'll call you from on top of the clock tower to do something about him. What? Their voices sound sad. You don't want to. For... What? Forgive your friend. Forgive our friend. What do you mean by forgive? What friend? What the fuck? Hi, Sempro. What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back. Welcome back. You're pretty quick. I thought you were in military stuff. Wait, now what do I do? What do I do? Wait, where do I trade up? Wait, where's the mask guy? Wait, someone tell me, where's the mask guy? Is he inside? Honey, baby, darling, are you inside? No. What if I don't believe? Thank you for the sub, Mr. Stupid Fish. Wait, how do I do the final boss then? Where do I go? The moon on the final day. I wish I could save. Wait, no, I can. Wait. Let me make a save. So I could just export my file like a cheater. And now that I've done this... Wait, what do I do? Do you not go to the Philippines? You don't want to go to the Philippines. And maybe you want to try it all, because you don't want to go to the Philippines. Song of Double Time. Okay, I got it. How do you go on top again? This is the one that opens, right? Trust me, most of them aren't. Moving to the night of the second day. Wait, is the boss fight hard? Am I gonna suffer? The dawn of the final day. Someone psych me up. What? How do you do the... Is there something I should worry about? For the final boss? Like, tell me, what am I looking forward to? Is it difficult? We probably need them. You shouldn't. You use a Song of Healing when it fails. There's 3 to 4 phases. What do you mean there's 3 to 4 phases? Damn, that's dreadful. You know what? Fuck it, we ball. It's an interesting way. What can I say? Hi, Amaran. Let me go inside now. You said it would open. It's not opening. We don't have to wait for midnight. I have all of the masks. I just don't know. Well, is there any masks I have that can make it easier? I mean, I really just collected them all. I didn't really think about it. I generally did not think about it. Well, you're right. Wait, no, that's Majora's mask. You can trade them for the Fierce Deity mask. We have to do it before the boss fight. Should I? It feels like a waste. I have so many masks. Only so many masks. I don't want to trade them. How bad could it be? It's worth? I mean, should I trade them? Okay, where do you trade them? Let me pause first. Any beer? Acai beer? Don't drink Philippine beer. It's awful. It's really bad. Do not try Filipino beer. They're all awful. Look, you want my beer recommend? Don't drink Filipino beer. You like Red Horse? Fuck that cheap shit. For your own well-being, don't drink Filipino beer. It didn't look good. I would not drink. When I tried it, I do not like it. You cannot proceed any further. We really gotta wait. Wait, maybe I can slow down time. Jesus Christ, what is that sound? Well, it's not your business. If you know me, I'm not one. Return to the, yes. I'm not one to want to struggle. But the second I struggle in a game, I do not want to play anymore. So I don't mind if it's like easier. I mean, this game is older than I am. Let's be real. I was already spoiled on it. The game is older than me. You can't really avoid much spoilers when the game is older than you are. Good night, Eagle. True, and I've seen the fierce genie mask in more than one game. Hi, Mr. Bob. Thank you for the follow. Dude, exactly. The game's ancient. Hi, QNail. Thank you for the raid. Hi. My name is Rina. I stream mostly retro games, Souls-like, from hacks. We had a good stream. Right now, we're just waiting for this to come down. Wait, how do I get into the moon? You know I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go the easy way. 14 hours. You played at stream. Oh, shit. I hope you rest well. If you have to rest, I completely understand. Like, I don't even stream that very long usually. I usually feel pretty tired. What do you mean? Wait, so will I know how to get the fierce genie mask right away? Will I just like know it? No, like I'm asking, will I just know it? Wait. Do I have to wait for... Wait. Do I have to wait for the door to open and go inside the door to go to the moon? Or no, that's not how you do it. So do I have to go... Okay, so I have to wait for it to open. I don't go outside. We don't explore Hyrule. This isn't Hyrule. This is not Hyrule. But yeah, if you guys have to rest, I understand. That must have been a long stream. But thank you for dropping by. You know, I completely forget. This is one of the few Zelda games that is not in Hyrule. No, I don't know any other Zelda game that is not in Hyrule. So I did not play the DS games. And I did not play the original Zelda. And the second one. So I'm not knowledgeable enough. I've played Ocarina of Time, Minish Cap, Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild. I played Twilight Princess. And I played Wind Waker. So that's... Then I've played A Link to the Past. That's 7 Zelda games. But I have not played more than that. The NES? No, I have... You mean the original one? No, I have not. I wish my dad exposed me to Zelda. Because he had a NES and like an N64. But he didn't really get into Zelda because he said it was not his thing. The bar... Do I look like I go to parties? Do I look like I go to bars? You know, if you're American, you're just gonna get scammed by... You're gonna get scammed by like someone... By like a fresh 18-year-old who's gonna sleep with you. And they're gonna steal your money when you sleep, so don't do it. I'm not even joking. Like, do not do it. You're gonna get scammed by someone my age, unironically. Then again, maybe it's your dream, but still. You know there's Japanese glazers? The opposite of a Japanese glazer is me. No, they're not strippers. They will actually steal your money. They're like unironic prostitutes. We were back with all the masks. Sis. Swamp, mountain, ocean, canyon. Hurry, the four are there. Bring them here. Don't speak out of line, stupid fairy. That's it. You won't let things go the way you want anymore. Well, whatever. Even if they come now, they wouldn't be able to handle me. Just look above you. If it's something that can be stopped, then just try to stop it. Wait, what do I do? Wait, what song? Wait, what song? What song? Oath to Order. Wait, I don't memorize that one. What does it do? Wait, what? What's happening? My controller is vibrating like crazy. And summons the giants. What do the giants do? Why is he having a schizo attack on stream? Is this how dinosaurs died? Why do they have... What is that? What is that body type? Holy shit, this is gonna give me tremors. Let me put down my controller. This is how dinosaurs died when built to stop the moon. Why do they look like nose passes but old and with long legs? Well, I don't know. You know, Zelda has a lot of like symbolism and all that. Obviously, I don't know what symbolism is. I only watched videos about it after I played the game. They look like they're struggling a little bit. Hardly earthship. Wait, really? I lost it for a dragon. So it would have just been like a ball. You know, I still think it's fucked up that it's a kid's game and like everyone just dies every single time. Stop. We did it. Wait, they're together now. That's it. We made it in time. The giant skull worked on the skull kit. You realize what you've been doing to everyone. Wait, don't be so hard on the skull kid. Why are you protecting him? Aren't you mad for hitting you so much? He was lonely. Skull kid. He was trying to destroy everything around him. That is not a lonely child. You can't allow that. The power of the mask made him do it. It's too much for Skull Kid to handle. He doesn't know his place. On top of having a weak will, no strength of heart. He's a fool. Certainly had far too many weaknesses to use my power. Yeah, that's right. Didn't make your stupidity. Wait a minute. Is that Majora? Oh no. The puppet can no longer be used as mere garbage. This puppet's roles has just ended. Can't be. Then that moon. Why am I going to the moon? Wait, the moon's gonna become Majora? What the fuck? I shall consume everything. What the fuck? Well, this isn't good. Let's go back. Hurry, the Song of Time. Oh no, you gotta be kidding me. Don't tell me you're going up there. I won't do it. You go by yourself. I'm staying with Kale. I'll go. What? What are you saying? What's wrong with you? I don't always want to be running away. If only I'd been stronger, Skull Kid wouldn't have... I understand. I'll go. After all this time together, I'm really stubborn. It's like someone I know. No, you guys are really stupid. Okay, someone tell me, where are the children? Before I touch the moon that looks like the thing in Doki Doki. Where's the children? Where are the children to touch? Wait. No, where's the kids we need to talk to? The tree. There's 4. All of a sudden I'm nervous, I have to pee. I'm getting nervous, I have to pee. No, I mean in Yandere Simu. You're the children. I'm an adult, unfortunately. Well, my underwear does say age 10 to 12. I'm not 10 or 12. If I was, then I think I'd be really sad that I became a VTuber. I did not become a doctor. Oh my god, what's happening? Yeah, look at that. Let me go pee first. Sorry, I got nervous. I got pressured. I don't work well under pressure. Be right back. Oh shit. Thank you, Chunky Wet Fart, for the follow. Life out with some, this is the children. It's a butterfly. Is it this one? Who the fuck are you? Nice weather, isn't it? Will we be a mask salesman? I'll play with you. Mask, give me some. What do I give him? Do I give it to each of... Do I give them all like one? Do I have to do it one by one? I want this one. Why? You take that one. My calm. Do I need to give it to each of them? Or do I have to like... No, do I have to give it to all of them? Like, give each of them like one each? Or give a few to each one? Oh. What do you mean you'll hide? I'm scared. What are these noises? I'm afraid. What? What is that? How do I find him? What's the hawk? I don't remember how to fight you. I'm gonna go with the Patriots because I think I'm a Patriot. How do you fight this guy? I don't have any nuts. What? You're stinky as fuck. Where are you? You're such an annoying piece of shit loser. Oh my god. He wouldn't even die in peace. Wait, so I leave the bunny mask. Oh yeah, well, thank you for the follow. I got a bundle of 30 arrows. My heart, the disturbing eye. What is that? Before I move, someone tell me what to do. Before I move, because that looks scary. Before I move a muscle. I thought I just had to trade my mask. Why am I fighting? How do you fight him? Doesn't seem like it's losing it. I don't think it is. Why are you not a guard? No, thank you. That was a good tip. You're an RPG. You think this is not a Filipino politician? As much as it would be really funny. Bombed you. Now what? Wait, now what do I do? Do I just leave? Hi Kyle, thank you for the follow. Wait, how do I go to the next room? Can you go there even? Nice seeing you. Thank you for the raid. Hi. Hi, my name is Rina. I play a lot of retro games. I'm a little lost on how to go up. I'm a bit lost. But we had a good stream. How was it? I play a lot of retro games. I play a lot of ROM hacks. And today we're playing Majora's Mask. We're trying to get the Fierce Stady mask. I'm a bit lost. How do you go up there? Wait, I'm being mad. Does anyone know how to go up there? Can't climb up. Can you even go there? A partially broken wall. Where is that? Oh, thank you. I don't know if that was on the right side. Yeah, well... How do you make it explode? Go, thank you. Oh, I missed. Who has the fucking dexterity to... This looks like it's gonna be another fight. Hi, Marker. Thank you for the follow. Can I leave now? Disturbing eye. It won't budge. I've never missed bomb arrows more than I do now. What? But did that work? How do you even... Jesus. Showy wowie, not a dookie wookie. Where are you at? Why are you naked like that? It's making me scared. Yanni. One more mask. Fine. Wait, so what do I want to keep? The bunny one? Do you really need that much more? You're so greedy. Sure. Face under the mask, is that your true face? Wait, now what? I look for more children. Not you, you fucking ugly rodent. Yo, have we talked before? No, you're the dancer dude. Give me mass. Hi, Shibuoka. Thank you for the follow. Oh, he only needs one? Well, he isn't tuned. What the fuck? What is that annoying sound? Holy shit, what is playing? Can't wait to get out of here. I wanna go deaf. Okay, wait. I don't feel any type of ambience apart from the fact that it sounds insufferable. Oh, I did it. You know, this kind of giving Crash Bandicoot noises. Your sound design is absolute crap. Majora's Mask, there's so many beautiful things about you. Sound design is not one of those beautiful things. And mind you, I find so many aspects of this game really beautiful. Just not the sound design. Do I need to go upward? I see you. I mean, it is an old game. I'm not too whiny about it. I mean, it is ancient. Oh no, you cannot do that. Fuck. You can't really expect much from a game that is... You can't expect perfection from a game that is older than you. No, I will admit, I feel like a lot of the older games, they hold up better than some of the new ones I see right now. But maybe that's me being like an extreme hipster. Remember when games didn't take 1 year to make? Because for context, GTA 5 came out when I was in grade school, and I've gone to high school, I've graduated college, and GTA 6 is still not there. Oh, I'm sorry. You can have this one. Your friends, what kind of people are they? Most people see you as a friend. You know, I thought they were naked. They're actually wearing tunics. I mean, yes. Wasn't like Majora's Mask because they asked like, oh, make another game. They're like, boom, Majora's Mask. Where are the children moving? Children, do not be afraid. Who the fuck are you? Nice weather. Remember when games didn't take 900 years to make? Good times. I really want to make another game instead of working on a sequel, Wind Waker. I mean, Wind Waker is really nice, but... Hi, Yume, how are you? I mean, Wind Waker is a really nice game, but I feel like compared to Majora's Mask and Ocarina, it's just not as good. Wait, do I have to go inside? You know, it doesn't... What? How do I go to the other side? I'm really stupid. Oh yeah, definitely. Goron. My favorite is Ocarina, but I'd say second is Twilight Princess. Third might actually be, well, a tie between... No, I'm gonna finish Majora's Mask first and then make my stupid comments. You know, I'm one to always make really... Only took 2 years? Crazy. Wait, how do you jump? Wait, how do I jump? Me a game within a year. Was that good enough? What is this? What? Where am I? Ocarina took 2 years to make. Oh, I'm not good at driving. You know, you can't expect a lot from games made now. They take 10 years each. Bullshit. The controls are fine. Oh my god. No turn. Okay, I'm not gonna turn. It's gonna be a fat dude. I'm gonna take it. Bullshit. Okay, wait. Turn a little bit. You know, it's not my fault. For the love of God. I hope my dad knows that I ended up being a better gamer than him. No fucking way. No, I did not end up being a... You know, maybe I see why my dad avoided Legend of Zelda. No! You know, that was pretty good. I think I got it. I understand the idea. I do not understand the idea. No! Who made this? No, I won't be able to make it. I've never felt more upset. That's not great. 11, you know, the fighting one was not that bad. I'm sorry for complaint. This part's gotta be rigged. I think this is... Who made this and why? Is this really that hard to do? Hours later. What? Why did it just stop? Was it too direct? Or some speedrunner black magic? Don't touch the control stick after hitting the first chest. Okay. Let me try your tip. Thank you, Thousand Lizard. Wait, okay, wait. I think you got it. We just gotta do it perfectly. Okay. Oh my god, Thousand, you are so base. Wait, you're so right. I don't speak Filipino on my streams. Okay, wait, that was a fumble. That was a fumble. This is a dungeon? I don't think this is a dungeon. Ooh, not great. I think if I just moved, I would have gotten it. I have to be centered. Okay. Hi, Reza. What is this? Okay, I think we can actually just walk there. This is the way forward. That's the door. Hi, Sub-Zero. Do I just barely touch it? Do you think I'll make it? That felt close. You're such a bastard, you know that? Thank you again, Thousand Lizard. That was such a hack. They were playing Majora's Mask. Well, what do you want, baby? Mask. Thank you, Thousand Lizard, for the sub. Thank you. Thank you for your help, too. I wouldn't have done it. That was such easy instructions. I like to overthink. You know, kind of like my parents. Here's the question. What makes you happy? Being kept company on stream? I don't know, not dying of poverty? Not getting dupes and Jollibee Happy Meals? Does make others happy too? I don't know, I like to think other people would be happy if I'm happy. Then I think I have a lot of mortal enemies, or like one-sided ones. One more, right? You have one more. You know, I don't remember the faces of the mass. We're missing one child. There's one child that has been ignoring me. Kids. Yo, wait up. I want to talk to you. You're ugly. My bad. I just saw him and I was like, wow, he's ugly. Really? You need more? You're a nice person, aren't you? You're telling me that I Sub-Zero, thank you for the follow. You mean I battled the hardest one first? What is this? I have to swim? Wait, how do I know where I'm going? Wait, that's it? That's all I had to do? Wait, really? Wait. Wait, did I get lucky or... Did I get lucky? You know what? I knew how to do that. First try. First try. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. No one will know. Pure skill. You know, I have clairvoyance. You don't. Only have 2 more. We don't have to give him the bunny mask. Bottom right. You want 1 in 16 chance? The right thing, was it? I wonder if you do the right thing, does it really make everybody happy? No, it does not. Wait. Okay, now that we're here, just to make sure I didn't miss it, how do I get the Fierce Deity Mask? No, I give it to 4 kids already. I give it to the 4 children. And as you said... How do I know who the final child is? Everyone has gone away, haven't they? Will you play with me? Is it him? Wait, before I press yeah, is it him? So we say yeah, we want to play with him. No! I was missing 1. No! Oh my god, I was missing 1. I only needed 1 more. But I said yes. And When I said yes, and he said you don't have any more masks. And then he said let's do something else. Wait, does he just say let's do something else regardless? Do something else. Let's play good guys against bad guys. Try it on with C. Are you ready? You're the bad guy. And when you're bad, just run. It's fine, right? Well, shall we play? Why do I look like I'm on drugs? Do I wear it now? Boom. Wait, why am I what the fuck is that? Why am I sexy? When did I become sexy? Oh my god. I'm the bad guy. Why am I the bad guy? What the fuck? Do I just whack him? What do I do? Oh my god. Do I do long range attacks? Wait, you can't use anything. It's not working. How do you press B? What is... It's not hitting. What? Why, oh Yasin? Why is everything raising up? Apparently you don't. We have to become a god. There's tactics. What tactics? No, thank you. I am illiterate. I do not need tactics. Is it dead now? The Undying Souls boss has killed you. Wait, what? What? Is that Ricardo from Adventure Time? Why is it laughing like that? This is making me... Why is it laughing? I am not medicated enough to fucking do this. What the fuck was that? Why is it vibrating? Why is it vibrating like that? What the fuck? You look more. Well, thank God. I wouldn't have wanted to fight this normally. Is he dead now, like, forever? He's turned into a Beyblade. Well, we could always watch it. Why is it rainbow? Wait, it's destroyed? Doesn't that fuck up gravity? You enjoying the boss? Yes. I think I would have hated it. No, but seriously, what are those supposed to be? Dawn of a new day. He's awake. Why do you look like a fucking Deku? No wonder people were mean to you. You know what? At least it actually gave you a reward. What does fucking Breath of the Wild do if you get all the Koroks? Nothing. You get a piece of shit. Literal sense. You guys haven't forgotten about me. He looks like a duck. You still thought of me as a friend. See, at least, you know, this Majora's Mask actually rewards you for, you know, being a completionist. Unlike most games. Where are they just running away? Going home where? Wait, where are they going home to? You saved me. I thought they didn't want to be friends with me. And they hadn't forgotten about me. Wait, Wait. How did he become friends with the giants if he's just some random kid? Friends are a nice thing to have. Will you be my friend too? What? You want to be friends? You're the same smell as the fairy kid who taught me the song in the woods. You mean, what the fuck is her name again? Saria? I know. Let's do something. So the evil was left a mess after all. What, he's gonna put it on? No, I finally have it back. As I'm in the midst of my travels, I must bid you farewell. Wait, the kid is older? What about me? I'm homeless. Shouldn't you be returning home as well? Whenever there is a meeting, parting is sure to follow. However, the parting need not last forever. When the parting be forever, merely for a short time, that is up to you. I do not want to see you ever again. Will that excuse me? You are a fucking creep, you know that? But my, you managed to make a number of people happy. You know, if this was a modern game, I would have been expecting that. The mask you have are filled with happiness. It's truly a good Oh yeah, it's like a euphemism about, you know, accepting death. Isn't like dead in this timeline? Both of us have gotten what we were after. So this is where you and I part ways, isn't it? It was kind of fun. Well, it's almost time for the carnival to begin. Why don't you leave and go about your business? The rest of us have a carnival to go to. No, but like it doesn't go anywhere, it just dies. Never really finds Navi, does he? Rina! Thank you. How do fairies even die anyway? I mean, isn't it like that with all Zelda games? Every single Link is just like a descendant of the past Link. You know, like in Wind Waker, where fucking a lot of people start dressing their kids as Link? That's how Link came to be. Wait a minute, I never got to use any of the fairies I collected. They fulfill their purpose. And so that's what happens in Ocarina. Become the Stalfos. What is a Stalfos? I didn't complete Twilight Princess. Time to actually search how it went. Skeleton dude. Wait, what? After all that, it just becomes a Stalfos? Wait, really? You're telling me that after everything I've done, I just become one of those random things I kill in Breath of the Wild? Man, I should have not. That's Ocarina of Time Link. Wait. Really? Wait, really? That's him? Well, so he could have lived a regularly normal life if he had just not gone back to the forest. So, like, he just inted. There was no reason for him to go back. What is that? What the fuck is that? Wait, no, it's you. I already forgot your name. I didn't really care about you. I just wanted the quest you were in. And then I must put Majora. So you're telling me he saves the world, and then his life is ruined forever? Wait, so it's not ruined. There's a guy named Link. You know, I think Wind Waker's pretty cool, because, like, he's not anything. He doesn't even like his costume. He's just like, oh, you know, I gotta save my sister. You know what? I'm gonna choose. Like, the Triforce of Courage did not choose him. He chose it by fishing out the annoying amount of fucking Triforce pieces. You know, I don't know why it had to be 8 pieces to make one Triforce. You know, I still think Ocarina was, like, the best game ever. Like, I've played, like, what, 7 Zelda games? And I think when I finished Ocarina, it made me go, like, whoa. That was a good game. Like, that was a really good game. Like, that was an amazing game. That was great. Majora was still really good, though. Really, really good. Though I wouldn't put it above Ocarina of Time. There were a lot of parts that annoyed me, but the gimmick with the mask and the gimmick with the... And, you know, the day cycle, it's a lot better than whatever the fuck you call the durability in Breath of the Wild. No, it's just plain annoying. Full steel Twilight Princess Master Sword. Like a replica. Oh, because he just ended. What a boss. I mean, Breath of the Wild does have its downsides, like Koroks. Again, Korok. And again, Korok. And again, Koroks. That was really annoying. The durability was really annoying. You know my biggest problem with Breath of the Wild? Is that it feels like Dark Souls. But then, like, it feels like there's a weird difficulty curve. I don't know, I just find the difficulty curve, like, really weird with Breath of the Wild. It's not bad. But the way that it curves is, like, really strange. Like, it's really strange to me. Because I feel like with... You know, with the bosses, they were actually pretty easy. But then you fight fucking mobs like Linnell's. Then all of a sudden, you know, fuck everything you thought about it. Even Ganon was pretty easy. Like, Although I really do miss like the, you know, the huge dungeons that were part of like previous Zelda games. With Breath of the Wild, which is like, you know, it's like the mini places where you got free items, which is basically what it is. And look at how cute that is. And then why these are dungeons? Well, they didn't feel like dungeons. It didn't feel much. Wait, that's it? It's over? I forget in older games you don't exit the fucking game. Wait, let me actually search up the boss fights. And let me pretend that I am playing it. Majora's Mask Moss Fight. Final. Show me the final one. Why is this 20 minutes long? What do you want? Yeah, 20 minutes ago. It's a bit loud. Boom, no one's gonna know. Oh shit, all of China knows. Yeah, that's pretty hard. Well, you know, good thing I'm so good at the game. What is that sword? Why is it gigantic? You know, good thing I'm really good at the game. You know, we swapped games. There's a fairy sword. Oh, it's something I didn't get. No, I did not bother with the fairy sword. Who needs the fairy sword when I got all the masks? Wait, he did it so quickly though. 6, 7. No, so that's how the fight actually goes. Man, this seems so annoying. It definitely would have felt more like a boss fight. But again, I don't have motivation to do anything. I don't think I would have wanted it. Yeah, but like... What I liked about the double helix sword was you could fight from long range. Kind of like in Minish Cap where you can... You know, just randomly fucking... Like, if you have full health, you could, like, spawn lasers. And I like that better compared to doing more damage. It's, like, preferring like a short sword over, like, a claymore. I mean, I don't mind a great sword in, like, Breath of the Wild. Or, like, a claymore, but it's not my first choice of weapon. I prefer, like, the shorter swords, like the blades. And I did see it. I used it twice. Though I was a little blind. Nigorons and... I never really use spin attacks. I'm not a spin attack person. I'm a spam dodge. Oh no, I never tried shooting the Master Sword. I only used the Master Sword once, and that was against Ganon. But even so, most of Breath of the Wild, I was an archer person. Shit ton of arrows. Imagine being drunk and like playing this game. You know, I wonder who came up with this idea and was like, you know what? It was a great idea for a boss. You know, a random heart spurting out. Hi, Robert. Like, you know what? That's a great idea. Yeah, that seems like a wonderful idea for a boss. What in the world was that? Why is Majora someone with BPD? Wait, what was that? What was that? That was a light arrow, I think. I think that was a light arrow. You know, I only got all of the masks because I thought I needed... I got all of the masks because I didn't really have anything to do. And let's see what I missed. What exactly did I miss? Excuse me. God, I've been sneezing a lot lately. Use this pain. I do not miss it. I do not want to suffer when I play games. I just want to win. Unite and got revive. You mean soul? What do you mean soul sleep? I mean, I just like winning. I don't really care about the process. Why does this look... You know, I still wish I got more lore on like Majora. But I'm a dunce, so I don't think I really understood the point of Majora's Mask. I need a video essay for this. You know, with every game I play, I'm like, whoa, there's probably some deep lore about it. And I don't really know about it until I watch a video. Does this look different when... No, it does look slightly different. It's shaded differently and... It looks different the 3DS version. You know, a lot of people working at Atari when it was first a thing were high. When Atari was first made. Why are they black in the 3DS? No, the font is different. That doesn't look nice. Oh, it does look different. Let me see. This does look better, but not by like a lot. Holy shit, why are they orange? You know, I still think the original version was more stylish. Why does Link look so bad? When are they gonna remake this and make Link better looking? Or, you know... Majora is a journey to accept the skate, and life keeps going. You know, you're right. I feel like it is way too bright. Are you winning? We've already won. We're just watching the 3DS version of the fight that I totally skipped. You know, maybe it's because I play most games in the dark. Not to me, it looks the same. Because I play most games in the complete darkness. I don't stream in complete darkness. Well, I am today. My light bulb's broken. Well, you didn't want to suffer too. Both him, both me. I didn't want to suffer. The person who played this walkthrough did not want to suffer. What's Block Wars? Like, my dad already bought one, but thank you. My dad already bought one for me. We're just waiting for it. And the bright in the game is playing on a small. Not too bright screen, hard to see, especially when outside. Imagine going outside, right? I still haven't plugged in my Switch 2 onto the fucking TV downstairs. Because I'm not one that likes to plug my consoles into TVs anymore. Didn't I not give you some bonus sending? They do not. The drawing looks awful. You know, I didn't understand. Majora's Mask explained. Why is there one fucking analysis? Who are they? In the Fierce Stadium, Link is dead. Bitch, someone fucking explain. Who was a nice explanation? You know, I didn't understand the lore. Let's watch this one. All bosses explained.
A Zelda game without bosses is like a box of chocolates that's empty. You never know what you're gonna get because there's nothing in there. To continue my series explaining every boss in every Zelda game, in this video we'll focus on the bosses and mini-bosses of the darkest game in the Zelda franchise, Majora's Mask. But I do have a pretty hefty disclaimer to get through before we begin. See, the nature of Majora's Mask is questionable to say the least, and by that I mean the notion of whether or not the entire land of Termina and its subsequent inhabitants is real is
why am I
perhaps
here?
one of the most debated things in the entire Zelda fandom. Because of this, I'm gonna completely wimp out and refrain from coming up with my own theory about Termina in this video for several reasons, one of which being that would take way too long, and instead I'm going to default to the official explanation located within the Hyrule Encyclopedia, which is that Termina in and of itself was created complete with its own moon when the Skull Kid donned the Majora's Mask out of the Skull Kid's corrupted and twisted memories of Hyrule. Now I know the elite theorists and lore masters out there listening to this are automatically cringing and rolling your eyes, and it may be debatable, but just hold your horses. It'll all make sense because I will explain what I believe happened in addition to what the encyclopedia tells us. Plus, there are several very good reasons to believe that the books are canon. For more information on that, check out this fantastic video on that exact topic by my good buddy Monster.
For Legend of Zelda.
And thinking of Termina this way does explain a lot of the extremely odd happenings and tools and people and bosses that pop up in Majora's Mask from Ocarina of Time.
See, guys,
anyway, that's
you know, we're gonna watch this video, and then whenever someone asks me about Majora's Mask, I'm gonna start ranting about how good it is.
All grouped into one of three umbrella categories. Bosses that
I haven't read all of the Twilight Princess manga yet.
Are the four giant
I let you do because I'm lazy.
The big bad Majora itself. So let's start with the first category of bosses that have their own reasons or were corrupted and work our way up the ladder. The first bosses you encounter in the game, besides the Skull Kid / Majora's Mask themselves, which isn't really a boss
manga
fight,
for pretty much every Zelda game.
Of the Woodfall Temple. The first of which is a Dynalphos.
Don't.
This is
I souls and don't make me wanna collect them. Because I'm already wondering, man, I really wish I had a Seedon amiibo.
So really the
I
explanation
love
for
fish.
it is the same as it would be for a Lizalfos or an Airalfos or even a Bokoblin. It serves the forces of darkness and somehow either found or created its own weapon and armor and wants nothing more than to
If
make
you
Link
were an
go to
enemy
sleep
in
a
Zelda, what would
permanent
you
kind of
be?
way. The next mini-boss of the Woodfall Temple is yet another repeating enemy in the game, the Gecko, with 2 Ks. However, unlike the Dynalfos, the Gecko is actually not normally a
I saw like
bloodthirsty
Minish Cap
monster.
has quite a
It's
bit.
actually a corrupted frog, which is otherwise
I
harmless.
saw it at
and
like a
kinda
bookstore, but I
cute.
didn't get
When
it because it
under
said
the
number
effects of
3.
corruption, the frog mutates into a more lizard-like form that walks on 2 legs and, you know, tries to kill Link. And both geckos in the game, this one and the one that
You know what
appears
I
later
wanna
on in the
be? I
Great Big
wanna
Temple,
be-
show signs of intelligence in that the first one runs
I wanna
away
be
from
like a
Link and primarily
slime.
attacks by riding on top of a killer turtle monster
I don't know,
called
they're
a
pretty
snapper,
cute.
and the second one encases itself in mad jelly, which acts like both a shield and a method of attacking Link. In either case, when defeated, the geckos don't die, but rather just devolve back to their original little frog bodies, so you don't have to feel too bad about it. As far as what dark power is responsible for corrupting them, though, why, it would be none other than
Would you love me if
Majora
I was a
itself,
frog?
or more specifically the corresponding
Heart for your
giant mask,
aster.
but more on that
Rito
later.
Ri-
The next natural boss encounter would be the Wizrobe, which is again
Re-
a
re-
repeating mini-boss that
Rito-
pops
Rito
up in the
Enjoyer.
Snowhead Temple,
That's
and
what
then
I meant to
again in
say.
Castle of
Rito
Icona,
Enjoyer.
Stone Tower Temple, and the
Re-
Secret
Rito
Shrine. Most
Enjoyer.
fans probably know that Wizrobes are not new
Rito
enemies to the
Enjoyer,
franchise.
Heart
Far
for your
from it,
aster.
actually, with their first
Goron.
appearance in the first game and stretching to being
Goron.
included in 12 of the games in total.
Goron
in each appearance,
Groper.
Wizrobes are always an intelligent species of humanoid
Goron
creatures that are very
Groper.
proficient in magic. But the curious thing about
Zora.
them is that they tend to switch up their appearance quite a bit.
Nothing
from
rhymes
being
with
more
Z.
human-looking in the original games to being birds, or maybe even the Rito in the Wind Waker, to being whatever.
When
the hell
did
this is
Rito
in Breath of
first
the Wild.
spawn? Was it
Looks
in
like
Wind
Gru
Waker?
from Despicable Me. We're going to steal the moon. Regardless, the Wizrobes in Majora's
Would
Mask
you
are
look your
definitely
frog
more
that we saw-
human-looking, and of course are set out to
If
make
I was
Link's life as
poisonous.
hard as they can. They teleport around their rooms and cast magical attacks towards Link, and when defeated, burst into flames, leaving no corpse behind. As far as where they come from, though, it's about as unclear as any of the other Wizrobes in the franchise. They appear to be of a race of humanoid creatures that learned magic and decided to serve
You know,
the
I
forces
hated
of
these
darkness,
fucking
which in this
dudes.
case would be
Like, this
Majora and
dudes
its
are, like,
lackeys.
randomly
I don't
go
personally
around
think
everywhere.
They're completely human,
They're
though,
giving
on account
keto
of their
vibes.
rather large stature and goblin-like appearance. Moving on, the next bosses are the Gerudo pirates from the Pirate Stronghold, which are really just Gerudo women. And
You
this
know,
is one
I
of those
really
bosses of
think
Majora's
that
Mask that's
whoever
only really
designed the
explainable by
Gerudo
way of Hyrule
just had a fetish
Encyclopedia's
for, like,
interpretation of
dark-skinned,
Termina, which, again,
tomboy,
is to say that
muscular
Termina
women.
was created out of the Skull Kid's
Like, there's
twisted
no way you're
memories
gonna make an
of
entire
Hyrule. Clearly,
race
the Skull
of
Kid either
just
had heard of the Gerudo women of the desert or had
dark-skinned,
seen them
muscular
before,
women,
I'm personally
and only
leaning towards the
women
latter because I
if you
know
didn't have
Neku
some
and even the
fetish
Witch
for
sisters
it.
Koame and Kotake, which are
Like,
straight
I've
out
played
of the
so many
deserts of
Zelda games, I've
Ocarina
seen
Time,
so
are
many
also
fucking
present in
Gerudos.
Majora's
It's
Mask, but they
definitely a
all operate
fetish
and act
from whoever
completely
fucking designed
differently,
Gerudo
with no ties
women.
to their original lore.
Base,
In this game,
but-
the Gerudo aren't desert
Sir.
dwellers, but are rather fearsome pirates. And without getting into too much of the narrative, they cross paths with Link when Link takes it upon himself to save the eggs of Lulu, who is the main singer of the super sick Zora rock group called the Indiegogos. The Gerudo pirates, under
Why
the
is it
leadership
named
of one particular
Indiegogos?
pirate named Avail, stole Lulu's 7 baby eggs because the Skull Kid told them they were the key to entering the Great Bay Temple, which they wanted to enter in search of getting rich off of the treasure within. Pirates, am I right? Anyway, that's where the Gerudo swordswomen as mini-bosses come in. Link fights 3 of them in the game, each of which are guarding one of Lulu's eggs. Next up is one of 2 mini-bosses in the Great Bay
What
Temple,
is that? I don't
a giant
remember that.
eyeball monster known as Wart. Wart also
Wait, no, I
appears in
do
the Secret
remember
Shrine,
you.
but there are reasons to believe that all the bosses in the Secret Shrine
Wait
are
a minute,
actually
didn't I
duplicate
see you in
bosses
Twilight
from the Land of
Princess
Termina,
too?
which would mean that in reality, there's only really one Wart. On the old Great Hyrule Encyclopedia that used to be an actual online resource hosted on the official Zelda.com, but has since been taken down for unknown reasons, Wart was said to
2005?
have been a guardian of the Great Bay Temple at one point. It's unknown as to why Wart is no longer considered a guardian of the Great Bay Temple, but since
No,
it's
you
a
saw a
theme with
giant
the game
frog.
as well as most
Same
Zelda games,
thing.
I'll chalk it up to the corruption of the Great Bay Temple's corresponding giant mask. Next up is the fun stuff, the bosses of Icona. And by fun, I mean scary and depressing. To start, the entire land of Icona is that of a forgotten and barren wasteland that was once the mighty kingdom of Icona.
You know, I
and became the
completely
location of
forgot
countless
about
wars and
Icona.
battles and bloodshed and
remember
just
this at
general
all.
unpleasantness. It's also currently experiencing a very particular plague, one that entails
feels-
the countless
yeah, it was
dead
really
soldiers
true. It was
and
more like a
foreign
mini
assassins
dungeon going
coming
through
back to
Icona.
life. On the plus side, this makes explaining a large portion of its bosses easier since
Yeah, I
said
just
large
remember the
portion of
dancing,
bosses in Icona
guys.
Valley are the
If you were a mask,
aforementioned
you would
undead.
dance.
According to the undead king of Icona named Egos Du Icona, the undead are all awry and evil and restless because someone flung open the doors of the Stone Tower Temple, from which a dark wind blows. With all that being said, the first boss you face in Icona is the undead giant who served in Icona's army as its captain, known as Captain Kita, or Skull Kita, who upon being resurrected immediately challenges you to a race because he's got the need for speed.
He's kinda
the
cute,
captain was
though.
actually defeated in battle, which brought him shame that carried with him into death, and is also the reason why he's dead. However, upon being defeated by Link, he passes his captain hat on to Link and asks you to give his final words that the war is over to his men, who still linger on as stalled children in the mortal realm, serving their captain even in death. And after he tells Link this, he asks his captain if he may take his leave. And finally,
Oh, that's
he takes
really
it. Following
cute.
the undead trail all the way to the
I
Conjuring
remember
Castle
that.
of Icona, Link will then meet the lackeys of the king, two unnamed Stalfos Skelly Bros, and the king himself in the throne room. Upon defeating all of
Wouldn't
them
you
and
love
curing
me
their
if I was
undead
a
bodies by
skeleton?
burning them with light, Egos Du Icona explains that the kingdom of Icona is now fallen due to petty battles over ultimately meaningless conflicts, the kind of which was beginning to unfold as his lackeys began to bicker just moments before burning away into nothingness. He also explains that the dead began to rise because of the dark spell originating from the Stone Tower Temple, and after teaching Link the Elegy of Emptiness, which summons forth a soldier
have
with
a
no heart, and
question.
is also the reason why the
Will you
bend-drowned
fuck an
creepypasta
invisible
still
girl?
haunts fans to this
Except,
day,
hear me out.
burns away himself,
The only
asking
visible
Link to
part of
shine the
her
light of
is her
justice upon his
skeleton.
kingdom with his dying breath.
And you have
This
to use it
light
as a
of
guide
justice
to
comment
fuck her.
also seems to imply that even before the plague of
Like,
the undead
every other
was a
part, like
scourge
the
upon
bones,
Icona,
blood is invisible,
injustices had already
but
fatally
except the
infected her heart.
skeleton.
Now, there are a few other mini-bosses present
Will
in
you
Icona,
smash?
but they're legitimately hard to explain because
Bare
technically
bones.
speaking, they shouldn't
No,
exist here, such as the
shoot,
Iron
the
Knuckle,
skin
and
would
the
be
Big Poe,
invisible,
and
but
the
you would
Poe
see the
sisters.
bone,
Poes
and that's it,
themselves
just the
exist as
bone.
lingering spirits of the dead and are a staple of the Zelda
Bone
franchise.
smash.
And in a land soaked with blood and lined with countless bodies, lingering
Only
spirits
if
seems to be a given.
But
it's
I'm
the
not a
Iron
skeleton.
Knuckles and Poe sisters specifically that must have
I mean, you
come
just
from
are
the
the
Skull
Scorpion
Kid's
from Mortal
memories,
Kombat.
especially the latter, who are a group of 4 sisters that once resided inside of the Forest Temple of Ocarina of Time, which the Skull Kid lived right outside of. Especially
I have
given
a
that in the child
question.
timeline, which is when this game takes place, Link would have never turned into an adult and killed the Poe sisters in the adult timeline, so logically they should still be located
Well, this was
within
very
the Forest
early into
Temple,
the
and the same
game.
goes for the
Almost
Iron
forgot
Knuckles
about
and the
them.
Spirit Temple. However, because we're working off of the assumption that Termina is a twisted version of Hyrule that is somewhat parallel to it, we are going to go with that explanation for the Iron Knuckles and Poe sisters and even Sharp and Flat present in Icona Valley. The final 2 bosses of this first category are the mini-bosses of the Stone Tower Temple itself, the first of which is the Garo Master, the strongest and master of
You
the
as a
Garo,
massive
who are present
gooner.
all over the
Mike,
land of
why are
Icona.
you
The
admitting
Garo
that you're
are
a
also
massive
undead,
gooner?
just like most of the other monsters in Icona.
Why
and
are
are
you just
actually
openly
spawns that
admitting
hail
you're a
from the
massive
country that was
gooner?
at war with Icona when it was alive. According to Pamela's father, who's a super smart scientist professor dude, the Garo may even be hollow underneath their robes. And one of the reasons to believe this is that it is Garo law to destroy their own bodies upon death, leaving no corpse behind. Something they still do even in their
Of
undeath.
course.
The fact that the Garo Master
Never
is
saw
here
the
within the
theory.
temple, and the fact that the Garo Master knows the secret of flipping
we
the
already
temple
know.
is strange. Very strange, and actually leads me to
What
believe
the
that the Garo
fuck?
Master may have
Thank
actually
you, Spooky
originated
Donut, for
from
contributing to the
temple.
Tummy
See,
Model
Egos
Art
Du Icona
Fund.
says pretty
Thank
clearly that it's an
you.
impenetrable
What? I don't know.
stronghold that
I'm
hundreds
not
of his
good at
soldiers
math.
could not topple.
What
This
percentage
implies that
are
it's
we
not
at
his
for that
stronghold,
one?
not a creation of the kingdom of Icona.
What
And since it
percentage
does
are we
require
at?
some jumping
Thank
to
you.
infiltrate, which the Garo
Wait,
ninjas
what
are all
percentage?
too
I
proficient
can't
at,
see it.
perhaps the stone tower
We're at
actually was the home of the
53%.
Garo. But that's just
We're
a
at
tiny little mini
thank
theory to explain the
you.
Garo Master.
That's like
the next and final
300
not main boss of the
USD.
game would be
Thank
none
you
other
so
than the
much.
one, the
Thank
only,
you.
the creepy, the vague Gomez.
I will
Now, this
definitely-
scythe-wielding boss hovers
Okay.
above the ground, covers
I was
itself
gonna be
in
like,
bats, and
oh,
has
yeah,
a
it's
rather
fun, like,
crazed
I'll tell them,
expression
sure,
on
why
its
not?
face, and of course is
Okay, I
one
gotta
of the
ask-
most
I gotta
unexplained
message
beings
them.
in the history of the Zelda franchise. So
Okay,
that's
okay, I'll
awesome.
message them
The
after the stream.
aforementioned Zelda.com
My
encyclopedia
lolly model
that's
artist.
no longer visible online once said that Gomez
I'll be like,
was a
mushy
powerful
mushy.
vampire, which kind of sort of explains all the bats.
I've decided that I will be a pervert after all.
Definition is canon is debatable. Either way, though, I think that Gomez is
No,
most
I won't
likely
say
a
it like
creation of
that.
whoever cursed the land of Icona by throwing the doors to the Stone Tower Temple open, and here's why. It's because thematically everything about Gomez.
No, you
want
wanna know something funny?
Is surrounded by
Like, when I was getting the... When the idea was presented to me, because I thought about it, when the idea was presented to me, I was like, can you make the tummy, like, a bit more, you know, a bit more I don't know, I just found the reply so funny. I found the reply funny because they're Chinese, they don't really speak English. So they just used Google Translate, and they were like, "Yes, Rina, understood. I will do my best to make the tummy more sexier." Smiley face. I'm like, what? It was so fucking. I don't know. There's something about like just plain as very literal
details of its body other than
emails.
its eyes
I
and
find
gaping,
so
smiling
funny.
mouth. It also wields a giant reaper.
Well, I was like
which is to represent
using so much
death, and
flowery
also goes
language
hand
to
in
not
hand with
look like a
darkness and
fucking
is the
pervert.
antithesis of light and life. And since Icona Kingdom is said to be enshrouded in darkness that stems from the Stone Tower Temple, it could be that Gomez himself is the incarnation of said darkness. In other words, Gomez is the curse that was placed upon Icona, the one that's making the dead come to life. But who made the curse, you ask? We'll get to that in a bit, but a cool little last detail I'll cover about Gomez is that
I
his
remember
name in
this
French is
dude.
Nefelche, which means the
Ooh,
Grim
I
Reaper,
actually
and
liked
is
him a
also
lot.
the French name of the Death Sword from
Like, at
Twilight
first I didn't like
Princess,
him, but you
both
know
of
what?
which
He was
are
actually
bosses that
fun.
wield giant bladed weapons and resemble the Grim Reaper. Perhaps their commonality is that they are both bringers of death, or rather, bringers
Pervert,
of
there are no
undeath.
perverts
With all
here.
of the mini-bosses of the first
Exactly.
category of the game out of the way, it's time to start focusing
Let's
on
do
the
a
main
poll just
bosses
to make
of the
sure.
game, specifically the 4 giant masks that
Are you a
Majora
pervert?
created in order to capture the 4 giants of Termina, which are the 4 guardian deities of the land of Termina, which was once a land with only one country and no divisions or borders. Let's start
Oh
off by
shit,
briefly
are you
covering the
a
story of the giants in case anybody doesn't know, or needs a refresher. The
Bo-
giants were not only the protectors of Termina,
pervert
but were also the
deska?
personal friends of the Skull King, perhaps even his only friends.
Thank you, Shizuka,
Eventually,
for
though,
contributing to the
giants decided
tummy
they wanted to
funds.
sleep,
Thank you.
I guess, and in doing so walked 100 steps north, south, east, and west, thus dividing the land into 4
Boku
quadrants
wa
and leaving the Skull Kid
hentai
behind.
desu
This
ka?
broke the Skull Kid's heart, and reportedly he then started to unleash his anger upon the people of Termina. And this is
Thank
apparently
you so
long
much,
before the
Shizuka,
events of Majora's Mask.
for the rest of the
Eventually,
funding for
people
the
called out
tummy
to the
model
giants
art.
to come
Thank
to save them
you.
from this naughtiness,
Your
and they
pure
then told the
soul.
Skull Kid to leave Termina or they will literally tear
You
him
are not
apart.
a pervert.
This
Thank
broke
you
the
so
Skull Kid's
much.
heart even more,
Wait,
and
now
then
we're
he
definitely
returned,
getting it.
quote,
Now-
to the heavens,
now I
where
can
we only
definitely
assume
tell
he then met the 2
the
fairies
model
in the
art,
Lost
yo.
Woods and eventually stumbled
You gotta
across the
put
Happy
it
Mask
now.
Salesman, and
You
then
gotta-
Link,
thank
and then the rest
you.
is history. Now, remember when I said at the start
You
of this video
gotta
that we're
put it
going
now.
with the encyclopedia's explanation of the creation of Termina? Well,
But
we
we're
still
not
are,
perverts,
but I also
right?
wanted to state that this history between the giants and the
But we're
Skull
not
Kid seemingly
perverts.
proves that Termina must have existed
Wait,
before
we are
the Skull
not
Kid donned
perverts.
Majora's mask.
Wait, why are you
Termina
voting
couldn't have
yes?
been
Say no.
created by the mask, right? Well, yes
We're
and
not
no. See, I think
perverts.
Termina already existed and that it's a different world that exists somewhere deep below the land of Hyrule, and it's accessible via a portal located
What do you
inside
mean
an old
below
tree in the Lost
Hyrule?
Woods. And no, I'm not going to expound on that because Termina
Oh,
isn't
right,
the point
'cause
of
we
this
are
video.
below.
I also believe that the Skull Kid found this world one day and began going there back and forth out of curiosity, eventually befriending the 4 giants before eventually being banished from there. However, the Skull Kid returns to Termina after obtaining the Majora's Mask, only this time his mind has begun to become quite altered due to the corruption
Well,
of
thank you
Majora's
so much,
powers.
thank
Either this
you.
Or Majora really did create Termina when the Skull Kid donned the mask. It's
What do you
just
mean
that the Skull
Majora
Kid donned
created
the mask
Termina?
some time ago, which I suppose is possible, but unlikely since the Happy Mask salesman
Why does he
appears
look like
here
some
in
of
the
my
child
teachers?
timeline. Either way, at some point he gets an idea, and that idea is revenge on the giants in the land of Termina itself. Now, I'll get into the entirety of the revenge plan more in the final section covering Majora, but as far as the giants are concerned, basically the 4
Termina
giant
is-
masks were created
wait, so
by the Skull Kid
Termina is
slash
not,
Majora
like,
in order
just
to trap the
a
giants
far
inside of them,
region.
transforming their physical
It's,
bodies
like,
into
actually a new
monsters of the Skull
world.
Kid's design. One became Odalwa,
So you
the
can't
giant
go
masked
back
jungle
from
warrior. One became
Termina
Goth,
to
the giant
Hyrule
mechanical goat
unless you go back the
monster.
same
Another
way.
became Gyorg, the giant fish monster.
Nice,
and the last
Caliber.
became
The
Twinmold,
illusion, the
giant
choice is
masked
Rina.
insects. The monsters were, in my opinion, none other than the giants
Wait,
themselves,
Ariel, we
who
still
took on
have
these
the
forms
sub-goal
upon
here,
their
my bad.
imprisonment. Kind of like the imprisoned from Skyward Sword, which is Demise's transformation into a giant avocado with squishy toes. Although
Hi,
it's unknown as
Periwinkle.
to what made them transform into what they did specifically. Since the 4 giant masks eventually returned to Majora's side, though, I can only assume that the masks and
Oh.
subsequent monsters were designed and created by Majora itself. Once trapped within the masks, the giants then became the scourges of the lands they swore
Who's
to
your
protect,
favorite
each
Majora's
cursing
boss?
their own respective quadrants of
Mine's the
Termina.
worms, 'cause I
southern
barely had to
giant
fight
became
them.
Odalwa of the Woodfall Temple and cursed the swamp into becoming toxic. The northern giant became Got of the Snowhead Temple and cursed the usually warm and balmy mountain
No,
into a
but,
fierce, unending
I think the
blizzard.
fight
western
was I
giant
like the
became
driving
Gyorg of the
fight.
Great Bay Temple and plagued the
Yeah,
waters
the
with
driving
uneasy
fight in the
murkiness and
Goron
caused the
area was
weather to
pretty
become even
fun.
hotter. And the eastern giant became Twinmold
I
of the
thought it was
Stone
really,
Tower
really
Temple and
fun.
covered the land in darkness and undeath. Their corruption of the lands also led to the creation of several monsters and bosses that we already
Well, I
discussed,
haven't actually
such as
fought fought the twins
But at the
properly.
end of it all, after Link frees all of the giants from their evil mask shackles, we're left with one burning question. Why? Why did Majora specifically curse these giants into these specific monsters? It's finally time to talk about the ones that started it all, Majora and the Skull Kid. And here's another fair warning, buckle your seatbelts because this is about to get crazy. Most fans know by heart the story of the Skull Kid, a mischievous, childlike forest imp that donned an evil mask and acted out in probably the worst temper tantrum the world has ever seen. But the character that really gets people going is that of Majora. Where did it come from? Is it an it, or was it a person?
You know what? True. That's why. Where does Majora even come from?
Let us begin with what we know.
I feel like
according to the Happy
I don't
Mask
have enough
salesman,
information
was created
on
by
where
an ancient tribe who used the
Majora
mask for
is
hexing
from.
rituals, which is another word for cursing or bewitching. So, you know, this ancient tribe was definitely not one of the good ones. However, that ancient tribe that used the mask for cursing others decided themselves that the mask was too
There's a
powerful
comic
and could
about
lead
it.
to too
Oh,
much
there is an
catastrophe.
explanation.
So this hexing tribe sealed the mask away in the shadows. Interestingly, in the original Japanese version of the game, the Happy Mask salesman says that the original tribe was destroyed, and that there was in fact a calamity brought about by Majura's mask, and that, quote, our ancestors sealed it away. Our ancestors, as in his and Link's shared ancestors.
So,
which would be
the
the
mask guy
Hylians
is also
themselves.
Killian.
It doesn't necessarily prove much, but it is interesting to think about. An unknown amount of time passes, and eventually the Happy Mask salesman gets his own hands on the mask.
Wait, how
Although
do
we
you
don't
even
know how or
access
when or
an
even why he
ancient
knew about
mask
the
like
in the
this?
first place.
Like, who
Regardless, the Skull
sells
Kid
this to
eventually
you? Where do you
steals the mask
find
from
it?
him and cue the events of the game. The Skull Kid then begins to undergo an evolution from harmless prankster to more serious prankster to then taking actual serious
Taking over the
advances in his
moon.
revenge plot, and decides to trap his old friends inside the giant masks.
Well, that
curse
fish
the
looks a
land with
lot
numerous
better in
ailments,
3DS
and finally
version.
bring the moon crashing into the face of the earth in order to destroy the world in defiance of the festival that celebrates the sun and the moon. Things so far are ultimately pretty easy to understand. Kid puts on mask, gets corrupted by mask, until the dark encounter with the Skull Kid atop the clock tower. See, once the Skull Kid's plot is stopped by way of the giants literally holding the moon in place, Majora's mask detaches from the Skull Kid and proves for the first time that it is sentient, and this is where stuff gets super interesting.
Yeah, now that I am a bit disappointed that he's talking over using the 3DS version, because now that I'm, you know, somewhat watching the 3DS version, I do think the N64 does have more charm, but it is clearer in the 3DS version.
What does Termina have to
But
do
I
with
feel like
Majora's
the
mask? The only thing that ties Majora's
I
mask
feel like the
to Termina
contrast-
and the giants is the Skull Kid
Yeah, I feel like the
himself.
contrast
here's
with
my
the
theory, and of course you're
background is
welcome to
really
believe whichever one
weird.
you'd like. Now, I have two theories, one of which is the
I feel
literal
like-
theory of what's happening here within the lore of the universe.
I feel like Majora's Mask, you know, when you play it, when you do the game, when you realize the vibe of like just getting the souls of like using the mask of like dead souls, like people who die literally in front of you, you kind of want the game to be shaded like Twilight Princess, you know, like where it's really dark. But now that I'm watching the 3DS version, it feels very bright, which I think works well with Ocarina. Which can still work with Ocarina, but for Majora's Mask, where your entire fucking concept is like death, you know, that's your main theme. I think it's kind of weird. But again, you know, maybe it looks different on the actual console. I mean, I do have Majora's Mask. I don't think I just ever completed it on the 3DS. But maybe I should open it, just, you know, to see if I am truly experiencing it.
And the
Like,
other,
maybe
which is the
it's
theory
better
of
if
the
I actually
symbolism
try
behind
it.
all of this, and how it
Again.
makes sense on a meta scale.
I don't
But let's start with the
remember.
lore theory. When Link enters the moon, personally, I feel like he enters the mind of Majora. I mean, a limitless grassy field with a tree in it being inside the moon is probably metaphysical. You know, probably. There are also children running around wearing the 4 giant masks, with one sitting alone wearing Majora's mask itself. But the reason why the mind of Majora
Why
is
are
so
there
lonely
children,
feeling and
though?
the child wearing Majora's mask sits by themselves with nobody to play with is because that is a reflection of exactly what happened to the Skull Kid. It's what was inside the Skull Kid's heart and memories. And because the Skull Kid felt it, Majora now feels it. That's why the 4 giant mask children are free to play amongst themselves while the Skull Kid / Majora child sits alone.
Alright,
it's a perfect
thank you.
picture of Termina's history told
Hi,
from the
Juggernaut.
perspective of the Skull Kid.
Hi,
But
Magic
this fictional
Johnson.
reality also shares the memories of Majora. That's why the kids look like the Happy Mask salesman, and why they ask Link
They
if
do
he'll
not
be
look
Happy
like him.
Mask
That is a
salesman too,
stretch.
since Majora remembers the Happy Mask salesman as the only individual in the past countless amount of years to pay attention to it. According to the old Miiverse website that again has since been taken down, the
Why
Happy
is it
Mask
in
salesman
Japanese?
himself says that he's never met these children before, and that he doesn't think they're normal kids, and that he's pretty sure there's some figment created by the Majora's Mask. He even recognizes that they have the same hairstyle as him. So young, yet so stylish. But now we're left wondering,
so he has,
everything
like,
in this
an...
grassy field, all of the dialogue from these children, their appearances, the masks, it all stems from either the memories of the Skull Kid or the Majora's Mask itself. But why? Well, I believe it's because of the fact that Majora's Mask is now alive. But let me explain. See, the Majora's Mask, when worn, gives the user the power to make their wishes
I'm trying to
a reality.
understand
Much like
the lore
Triforce,
of
actually, but yet the
Majora's
opposite of
Mask.
it. See, the Triforce
It was
will
being
grant the
real,
wish
it
of
just
its
went
user,
past
but will
me.
separate if its user is unbalanced, meaning the Triforce requires balance. Majora's Mask, on the other hand, creates imbalance. It corrupts.
Right,
It
the
takes
game does
the
not...
deepest, darkest parts within your mind and brings them
I
to
just
the
realized, it was the first Zelda game I played that does not mention the fucking Triforce. It doesn't mention the Triforce at all. I don't know. You know, now that I think, like, I'm used to, like, every single Zelda game, like, oh, fight Ganon, get the Triforce, something, something. The Triforce of Courage, whatever the fuck. I realized it did not do that. I'm like, it did not do that. A little bit sure.
surface, eventually making those dark thoughts worsen and completely take control. Think about it like the Venom symbiote and Spider-Man, but if the Venom symbiote also granted the wishes of Spider-Man. Now give that symbiote to an angry, emotionally distraught human being who has not yet figured out how to control their emotions, like a child or a Skull Kid. That in and of itself is a scary notion, but I think that the true horror is actually even worse. See, there's a reason why Majora's Mask initially wasn't alive, but it is now, and why it was so terrifying to the ancient tribe once they discovered its true nature. In my opinion, Majora's Mask darkens the wearer's heart because it feeds off of it.
Yeah, they do. They still mention like the wisdom, the courage.
Because of it, and forms a
they still mention wisdom, courage, and power in the shrines.
Their darkest desires, their deepest hurts, their inescapable loneliness, and the culmination of all of their wrath.
Symbol.
And that
if
is
you
the
go
heartbreaking, deep, dark horror
castle,
of Majora's
there is
Mask.
a Triforce
it's
symbol.
why Majora pushed the dark thoughts and feelings within the Skull Kid to the surface. It's why Majora continued to enter the moon and pursue the same dark intentions given to it from the Skull Kid. It's why the moon area created by Majora is lonely and desolate. And it's why Majora itself is wild and childish and full of wrath like the Skull Kid, and begins forming a veiny, organic body based off of these very emotions in front of our eyes. And we know this is the entire darkness of Majora, because after defeating it, the evil has officially escaped the mask, proven by the Happy Mask salesman. But one other aspect of the final fight that I don't have to explain, but I will anyway, because according to the Hyrule Historia is the canonical version of events, would be the fierce deity's mask that Link dons in order to transform into the fierce deity and kill Majora's Mask once and for all. The Japanese term for it is Kishin.
Wait, who the fuck is the fierce deity even supposed to be?
Is used to refer to gods that have a righteous fury against the enemies of humanity. And according to Aonuma himself, the fierce deity mask is supposed to be the culmination of all the memories of Termina's people. Their combined will, if you will. It seems to me that just like Majora's Mask is the incarnation of the darkness of the Skull Kid's heart, the fierce deity is the incarnation of the righteous fury of humanity. Now, it's given to Link from inside the Majora Moon area from the child representing Majora itself, so that they can play good cop, bad cop before fighting, which is strange, but makes more sense when you look at the situation symbolically. And to explain the symbolism, let's start again with Majora's Mask. The deadly, heart-shaped ancient hexing mask is a picture of what happens if the dark and harmful will towards others inside our hearts is left unchecked. Specifically with a focus on how angry and wrathful we can be in our childhood, when our emotions have yet to mature. And the masks that Link gives to the Moon Children that run around wanting nothing but to play games represents the different pieces of our childhoods, our imaginations, the games we would play. And when you give the final piece of your immaturity away, you receive the more grim and serious maturity of adulthood in return, which has—
Why is that so... Why did it get so dark? Why did it get so dark all of a sudden? I was just enjoying, I was like, oh, nice lore. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I getting a reality check? I just wanted to play a game on stream. I was literally talking in Discord, I do not want to grow old. I think my life goal is to be a NEET forever. What do you mean? There's a metaphor in this game. Zelda's pretty dark. What do you mean? I play as a himbo. That's it. Doesn't end like that. I play as a sexy himbo, and I see sexy fish and sexy birds and not so sexy rocks. Is that not the point of Legend of Zelda? Am I missing the point?
Has the power to destroy even the darkest of childhood intentions or hurts. Because, after all, isn't the Skull
Throwing
Kid's
goats
wrath
around
warranted?
sexily.
Wasn't he hurt by the giants, his closest friends? The problem is he went too far and wasn't mature enough to deal with it. So simply put, Majora's Mask, to me, among many things, is an allegory for growing up and overcoming and defeating the traumas of our childhood. The darkness we so often bring with us. But that's just my thoughts on the matter. Speaking of my thoughts though, this turned out to be the longest and most thought-intensive boss lore video yet, or at least it felt that way when I was
those are some pretty
researching
good
it. If
thoughts.
you enjoyed it or my efforts into making it, please consider leaving a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already for much more to come. Seriously, you can always unsubscribe if you change your mind, so give it a shot. If you learned something new, or if I missed something, let me know in the comments below, and also let me know which game you'd like me to cover next.
You know what? That was actually pretty good. Though I want to know the actual... What do you mean correlate analysis? I want to know the actual story. Zelda theory. Give me... I want to know the actual story. Theory done right. I have you, so what's a good one? You know, to explain it to me so I don't sound like an idiot. Majora's Mask is a depressing story.
Majora's Mask is a game that stands apart. A pocket-sized world of colossal emotions and daunting mysteries. Its haunting themes and dark beauty have etched themselves
Well, at
into the
least this
memories
guy
of
actually
countless
used the
players.
N64
The relentless
version.
descent of the moon, the enigmatic inhabitants of
I'm
Termina,
useful.
and the eerie Majora's Mask itself. These are all a part of a unique tapestry that make this strange but lovable game. To end October this year, let's dive into the story and development of Majora's Mask to see what we can uncover about this classic Zelda title. Welcome to October.
You know, what should I play next if I've already played...
Our story continues after the events of Ocarina of Time, with Link, the hero
You know
of
I'm
time,
traumatized with
living out
Majora's
the
Mask. You
remainder
don't
of his childhood
understand
in his
how
peaceful
much
timeline.
difficulty
Link is on a journey to
I had
find
to
his fairy
face.
friend Navi, who just up and bounced once
No,
the
I
timeline
mean
was
Zelda
saved.
game,
And the
not
crazy thing about
fucking
this is that Link
PS2.
never sees Navi again. The game doesn't even solve this plotline. The adventure this time begins with a weary
Bayonetta.
Link and his
These
trusted
are the ones I
steed,
played.
Epona, navigating a dense forest, oblivious to the unseen eyes tracking their every move. Two mischievous
these aren't
fairies under the
completed.
command of Skull Kid ambush Link, and they all steal Link's Ocarina of Time and make off with Epona. Link is led through the forest, dragged by his own
I'm
horse,
bad
and
at-
left at the entrance of a mysterious cave. This is where Link finds out how deep the rabbit hole goes.
What's the last? Breath of the Wild. These are the ones I've played. No, I know what to go with next. Tears of the Kingdom, obviously. And I still haven't finished
Skull Kid
Skyward
confronts
Sword.
Link once again after getting rid of
But
his
after I
horse,
finish those,
but
where do
to
I go
add insult
next?
to injury, he casts a curse on Link, transforming him into a Deku Scrub. And this transformation isn't quick either. It's like he mentally torments Link in some type of advanced genjutsu.
Beast.
Skull Kid runs off deeper into the cave, leaving behind one of the two fairies who we learn is named Tattle. But she kind of deserved this because she stayed behind to bully Link. So it looks like these two
The
are
one
stuck
in the
together
GB
now.
the one
And
in
as
the
Link grapples
GBC?
with the loss of his horse, a body that's not his own, and a snarky fairy companion, he finds himself facing a daunting choice: to plunge deeper into the unknown, where who knows what horrors and
Yeah, I did
adventures
hear that
await.
the...
This guy
Oh,
awaits.
I don't have
Yes,
that
the
one.
famous "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" guy. This is the proprietor
Is
of
it-
the Happy Mask
wait, is it a
shop,
lot
who
different
travels
compared to
far
the
and wide
original?
collecting and selling masks. He
Apart
tells
from
Link that he's on a
graphics.
journey to find a mask that was
Like,
stolen
is it a
from
good
him,
remaster?
which, as it stands, turns out to be the one on Skull Kid's face. The salesman strikes a deal with Link: return to him the Ocarina of Time,
Oh,
and he'll
that's
restore
good.
Link's normal human form, but in exchange, he must hunt down Skull Kid and retrieve the stolen mask. Oh, and you need to do this in 3 days. And it looks like Mario got his soul stolen here too.
And
So
there's
with this
some
objective
people who
in
manage to
mind, our
do this
journey
in 3
unfolds
days.
as Link and Tattle
Like,
step
without
foot into
ever, like-
Clocktown, the heart of the land of
Like, is it
Termina.
possible
But
to do it
before we
within
delve
3 days
deeper
without
into the
ever, like,
story, if you
going back
venture
into
through
time?
Ocarina of Time's expansive world, you should recognize Skull Kid and the masked salesman already. Skull Kid can be found in the Lost Woods in Ocarina of Time,
Speed-
and is
Ooh.
befriended when Link plays Saria's song for him, which earns Link a piece of heart as a gift.
Or
It's a pretty
could you at
minor
least be able to
appearance,
do,
but
like,
it's
2 of
interesting
them?
nonetheless, since they made him one of the major antagonists here. The masked salesman can be found opening his shop in the Castle Town Market, which gives Link the ability to borrow masks and trade them with people throughout Hyrule. But the reuse of these characters was totally intentional, and we'll talk more about that when we get to the development part of this video. So tangent aside, the player is now free to roam and explore Termina, but it's not long before the game reveals a particular sense of dread that's stuck with players for years. This moon is gonna come crashing down in 3 days, destroying everyone and everything in its wake.
You would
So
not
Link is more or
believe
less
your
helpless in
eyes.
this situation, and by the final day manages to track down Skull Kid at the top.
Actually, no, I don't know what
Tattle's brother,
rhymes.
Tao, urges Link and his sister to find 4 beings from the swamp, mountain, ocean, and canyon before being swatted aside by Skull Kid, who reigns in the apocalypse. But in a moment of quick thinking, Link hits Skull Kid with a magic bubble blast, managing to grab the Ocarina of Time from him at the very last minute. With the memory of Princess Zelda to guide him, he plays the Song of Time, rewinding the clock to the dawn of the first day. Link has spared Termina some more time. With the Ocarina of Time in hand,
Zelda
Link can
era,
now
would
regain
you
his
accept
body from
me?
the happy masked salesman who teaches him the Song of Healing. With this song, Link is normal again, and the masked salesman has held up his end of the bargain, but is enraged that Link did not bring back the mask as he had promised. This guy's temper tantrums were terrifying back in the day, and y'all can't tell me different. But we learn that the stolen mask is known as Majora's Mask, an accursed item from legend that's said to have been used by some ancient tribe in cursed rituals. Upon its wearer, it bestows great power and channels evil, which explains what happened to poor Skull Kid here. The ancients attempted to seal the mask at some point to prevent it from being misused, but for some reason it's just laying around, and this guy wants it.
You know, because he's a fucking looter.
But more importantly, Tato suggests Link follow
Will you guys
her brothers'
loot the
advice
dead? Given the
seek out
chance.
the 4 beings in the 4 regions of Termina. So our objectives
If you
are
die,
clear,
will you let
and
me
Link
loot you?
officially begins his new adventure. This part of the video is where I take
Hear
a
me
break
out.
from the story and talk about
I will use
development,
you
so
for
let's do
good.
that.
By that I mean I'm
After
gonna
the
use you for
huge success
scab.
of Ocarina of Time, Nintendo couldn't afford to let the extensive effort invested in creating that game go to waste without leveraging its game engine and assets for a new
Can I sell
project.
your
This time, a
organs?
more compact team consisting of Eiji Aonuma, Shigeru Miyamoto, and Yoshiaki Koizumi took the helm, determined to craft a follow-up to Ocarina of Time. As you all might know from the last video, the team worked on the Nintendo 64DD version of Ocarina of Time, an enhanced version of the game with
What
remade
does
dungeons.
DD mean?
This project is what we would eventually know as Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Eiji Aonuma, on the other hand, didn't want to remake the same dungeons. He began brainstorming new concepts and approached Miyamoto with the idea of creating an entirely new game. Miyamoto agreed to the proposal, but imposed a stringent 1-year deadline. Or else the
1
moon would
year?
fall and destroy them all. So the race was on, and to meet this tight schedule, they repurposed a significant portion of existing content from Ocarina of Time, significantly reducing their development time.
I don't
Yoshiaki
have a
Koizumi
GameCube, but I
proposed the
always
idea
wanted
of a
one.
3-day system where players would have to play the same
No,
moments
I
over
saw
and
like they
over
saw it
again.
for like
Originally,
almost
the developers toyed
$600.
with a week-long
I'm like,
time
nah,
frame,
bro.
but the demands of
I'm gonna
in-game
switch to
character
that.
schedules led to a shift to a 3-day cycle. That looming
How
moon
long was the
descending
gap
ominously from the
between
sky was a
fucking
unique idea
Tears of the
born from
Kingdom and
imagination
Breath of the
Koizumi as
Wild?
well. Inspired by his daydream of the actual moon falling to Earth,
What the fuck?
he decided to
So he was on
incorporate this into the
drugs.
game. In an interview with Famitsu, Koizumi mentions that they drew inspiration from the 1998 film Run Lola Run, where a girl relives the same critical period multiple times, influencing outcomes with each iteration. This idea served as the foundation for Majora's Mask, infusing it with a sense of urgency and depth. And while the gameplay has similarities to its predecessor, Majora's Mask introduced a groundbreaking feature as well, the mask transformation system. Masks aren't
That
merely
was
cosmetic,
pretty good.
they became central to the main quest and side quests, adding depth and intrigue
You're
to the game
strange.
itself.
Your
But
mom
we'll
was
explore some of
space.
these masks shortly. Stepping up once again to compose
My
the
dad
score
actually
was the
Crash
legendary
Bandicoot, but
Koji
not
Kondo.
Zelda.
But joining him this time
I feel
was
like I
the
really
talented
missed out.
newcomer Toru Minagishi. Majora's Mask marked Minagishi's
Oh,
debut in
thank
Zelda.
you, Elliot, for the raid. Thank you. Hi, my name is Rina. I'm a Demon VTuber. I stream mostly retro games. I play ROM hacks. I like Souls games. Thanks so much for the raid. I hope you had a great stream. Aren't you up a little late? Maybe I'm wrong. But if you had a good stream, you have to rest. I completely get it. We just completed Majora's Mask today. Because we just completed Majora's Mask, now I'm sitting down and trying to understand the lore of Majora's Mask. You know, so that I don't feel like a complete utter idiot when someone asks me about it. You know, so I can be pretentious. When someone asks me like, Rina, what do you think about Majora's Mask? I'm gonna be like, you see, you understand. Chigao, Majora's Mask has euphemisms about death. You know, it's about letting go of your childhood. You know, you would understand that because you actually have to play 100% of the game and play all of the quests. to truly understand the lore of the game. But you probably didn't do it, but I did it. No, I shouldn't. I have no right to be pretentious when the game is older than I am. Like, the game is older than me. I'm not allowed to be pretentious. I didn't play it with no cheats. I literally played it with a video guide on. I watched the guide of the game before the stream because I struggled off stream. I'm a loser like that. But yeah, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. You have to rest. I completely understand. And thank you Firewire, Orewa, and Kato for the follow. Thank you. I hope you have a great day. And yeah, please rest well if you need to. Let me continue the video. We're trying to understand so we can be pretentious.
A journey that would see him contribute to other beloved titles like The Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and later on, the Splatoon series. Interestingly enough, Miyagishi is also the mind behind that iconic GameCube startup jingle. Before its official release, Majora's Mask would be known as Zelda Gaiden, or Zelda Side Story. The name Majora itself is a unique localization of the Japanese Majora's Mask,
no
a
habla
playful fusion of the
español.
art director Takaya Imamura's name, and Jura, inspired by his love of Jurassic Park.
See, I know
I always thought the
Spanish.
origins of that name would be a lot more profound, but here we are. So Majora's Mask made its debut on the Nintendo 64
But it's because Filipino has a lot of Spanish words.
Japan,
See?
and later that year in October in North America. So yes, it's been 23 years since this game was released, and you should feel old.
Tacos.
Anyway, we head back to Termina. Link has his body back,
No,
and with only
please.
Tal's clue
I'm
about
not
the 4
racist.
places to go on, Link and Tal
Read
must
a
travel to
racist
4
allegations.
different dungeons in Termina
I don't know how to
free
say I
4
love
giants from
tacos.
the evil lurking within those dungeons. And while there are only 4 major dungeons in this game, what I think really sets this apart from the rest of the series, it's its very unique
I'm
side
Southeast
quest.
Asian.
The game is stuffed with all of these weird encounters that sometimes
26
leave you asking
years?
more questions, or they might just bring a
Are
tear to
you
your eye.
younger or older
If
than
you're not
Majora's
making a beeline
Mask?
to the end of the game, Link can meet several different characters within Termina, all with their own schedules in this 3-day time frame. This contributes to remarkable world building and helps give these citizens even more colorful personalities than what we experienced in Ocarina of Time.
The game is older than me.
One
The
of the
game is
most
still older than
popular
me.
side quests is that of
Oh,
Cafe
Southeast
and
Asian.
Anju, the only side quest that will take
But
you the
you're
entire
Spanish.
3-day cycle to complete. These 2 individuals promised to marry when they were children and planned that they would have that destined day occur during the Carnival of Time.
Are you younger?
The
Yes
event
or
that takes
no?
place on the final day when
I'm
the
younger
moon is
than
plunging
Majora's
into Termina.
Mask.
So when Link meets Anju, she asks him to keep an eye out
Wait,
for her fiance,
holy
as he
shit.
suddenly
Yes
disappeared
or
with
no?
his wedding ceremony
I
mask
spelled it
just a
wrong.
month before the
I
actual
made a
wedding,
mistake.
while her mother
Okay,
is
yes
accusing
as if
him
you're
of running
older,
off
no.
with her best friend. Anju is
You
afraid
say
of
yes so
finding
you're
out the
older.
truth,
I had a
worried
stroke.
that Cafe disappeared because of her. Link will eventually encounter Cafe, who's been turned into a child by the Skull Kid. And to make matters worse, his wedding mask was stolen while he was on his way to ask the Great Fairy for help. If you manage to see this quest to its end, you can find Anju in her room in the last few hours of the final day, pledging to wait for her fiancé in her final minutes. The lovers will reunite in this moment, exchanging vows and staying right where they are to face whatever fate may befall them. Please
That's some
take
Shota
refuge.
shit.
We're fine here. We shall greet the morning together.
I wasn't spelling shit right. Oh shit.
Aonuma said, quote, "The inspiration for that particular side quest actually came shortly after Ocarina of Time when I went to a wedding party for one of the members of our staff. At the time we were thinking about what sorts of events we could include in Majora's Mask, and I was talking with Mr. Koizumi, who directed the game with me. And we said to each other, I can't recall seeing weddings portrayed in a game like this before. It would be really interesting if you had 3 days leading up to the wedding, but there was this horrible cataclysm happening alongside
What
it.
the fuck
That
is
could be
wrong
really
with
impactful," he
them?
thought. Okay, Zelda aside
You know
for a
what's
second,
saying? When I
imagine
see
your
people get
friends
married, I'm like,
having a
man, you're getting
conversation like
married?
this at your wedding. Either way, we
Sucks
got
to
one of
be
the
you.
most touching scenes in the game because of this moment. Then there's the mystery of the Romani Ranch, a place where you meet Romani and her older sister Cremia as they deal with the threat of creatures simply known as them.
You know, I love that quest actually, the entire alien
Look,
thing. It was so
Epona's alive.
cool.
When you first meet Romani, she'll ask for your help whenever they come, which already sets the tone of a rather sinister force looming over this ranch. Cremia, on the other hand, as the elder sister, has a responsibility to run the ranch due to the passing of their father, her mind preoccupied with things going wrong on the ranch ever since she took over. We find out later that this is the result of sabotage from the Gorman brothers from a rival ranch. So with all of these issues going on, Cremia doesn't have much time to spend with Romani, Little does she know, if you wait until nighttime on the ranch on the night of the first day, they will appear. Yep. Straight up aliens.
You know, this is
here to
actually
steal
really.
cows
I
and
almost said this is
everything
my
else.
first
So it's up to
try.
Link to stop them from
When
approaching the ranch, and
I didn't
if he
understand the
fails,
instructions.
they will beam up the cows and Romani
But I actually really like the
along with
FPS ones.
This doesn't even trigger a
like
game
the
over though.
FPS
Time moves on
type
and we'll
of
see
quests.
Romani back at the ranch
Kind of
the
reminds me
next
how I
day,
used to play FPS.
traumatized and dead
Except I'm
inside
not
from
playing
her time
FPS.
being abducted. According to Aonuma, there was a UFO boom in Japan happening at the time this game was developed. And he said, quote, "Thought it would be really interesting and scary to use in a game. That's why
Scary
we
to use
decided
with a
to go
game.
that."
Sensational.
Of course, if Link manages to hold
Amazing
off the
game
invasion,
choices.
this opens the door to
I
more
respect
side
it.
quests, and
Amazing game
ultimately,
choices.
Romani and Cremia will have a closer relationship through Link's actions. Okay, if that one wasn't weird enough for you, how about this hand sticking out of the toilet? If Link enters the restroom of the Stockpot Inn on any night between 12 AM and 6 AM, this hand will surface from the toilet asking for paper. You can simply give it any letter items you may have or title deeds and it will be satisfied, rewarding Link with a piece of heart that fell into the toilet. I would ask how exactly that fell in, but there's literally a hand sticking out of a toilet here. This hand would also make an appearance in Oracle of Ages and Skyward Sword, and during the time of the release of Skyward Sword, Entertainment Weekly would ask Miyamoto about this. In a couple of different Zelda games, there's a mysterious hand that appears that's never really explained. In Skyward Sword, the hand appears in a toilet. Can you explain to me what that hand is? Miyamoto responds, "In the original Legend of Zelda game,
use
a
hand to wipe?
gigantic hand appears and grabs you at the entrance to a dungeon."
No, the hand is used
Actually,
to
that
like
has nothing to
when
do
you're
with Skyward
constipated,
Sword.
it grabs the poop from your butt.
It's actually something from a Japanese ghost story, not a specific ghost story. There are some ghost stories in Japan where, when you're sitting in the bathroom in the traditional style of the Japanese toilet,
You
a
wipe
hand
with the
is
left
actually
or
trying to grab you from beneath.
I use
It's
a
very scary
bidet.
story. The last side quest I'll cover is
You use
one
a
of my
bidet.
favorites, and that's the story of Pamela and
You're
her
jealous,
father at
aren't
the
you? You don't
music
have a
box
bidet.
house. In Ikana Canyon, there's a
You don't have
special
a bidet
house
'cause
with
you
a
don't-
water wheel
you don't
that
live in
plays a
Asia.
song known as Farewell to Gibdos, a special song used to drive away
Well, I
Gibdos
know
and other evil
bidets
spirits
exist
in
outside
the
Asia, but it's a
area.
bit
But
rare.
when Link first arrives to the house, the river has dried up, causing the water wheel powering it to come to a stop. So it's surrounded by
Yes.
Gibdos now, and inside the house is a girl named Pamela who refuses to open the door for Link, believing that he's one of those Gibdos attempting to take her father away. Link can discover the source of the water drying up, which turns out to be a man named Sharp who put a curse on the spring water cave, which can be undone with the
You
Song of
favorite
Storms.
bidet?
Once Link has the water
Oh.
flowing again, the music box
My bad,
house
I wouldn't
plays the
touch
melody
my
again
asshole with-
that drives away the Gibdos, and Link can
With
now
my
sneak
hands,
into the
that's
house where
nasty.
he'll find Pamela's father locked inside the basement, half mummified, struggling to hold on to his humanity. Once he plays the Song of Healing, her father can be healed of his curse, allowing us to witness
Hear me
this
out. What if I
touching
go to
scene.
cancer wards and start playing Song of Healing? Would that be fucked up?
These contained but powerful stories within Majora's Mask make this game as memorable as it is.
Hear me out. What if
And
I
with
go
the
to
final days
hospitals,
hovering over the
but then
heads
I
of
dress
the
up as
people of
Link, and then
Termina,
I
it
just
makes each of these
randomly
stories more impactful
play the
the deeper
ocarina?
you dig in. Let me know your favorite side quest in the comments below, because I know I'm missing
Dude,
a
I
few
think I'm
here.
crazy
But
or
within
I'm like
these side
incredibly
quests,
based.
the theme of masks still rings true, as Link can obtain collectible masks.
I think you turned them where their cancer into masks.
For example, seeing the Anjo and Cafe quest to its end will have them gift Link with
When
the
I
couple's
put it on,
mask.
I get
Or
cancer?
While Pamela has this tear-jerking reunion with her cured father,
What?
a
I'm not
Gibdo
capable
mask
of
will be
doing
on the
good
floor
person
for Link to
things.
collect. There are 20 collectible masks in all, which excludes the 3 transformation masks that Link will obtain throughout the story. These 3 masks are crucial to plot progression and include the Deku mask, Goron mask, and Zora mask, allowing Link to transform into these 3 races and use their abilities. If this game wasn't dark enough though, each of these transformation masks
You want the Oshi
represented
answer or the
deceased
honest
individuals
answer?
from each race, like
The
Goron mask for instance,
The honest
embodying the
answer.
soul of Darmani III, a Goron
Fine, you
hero
can give
that
the
was a great
non-enabler
warrior of the
answer
tribe,
for once.
who succumbed to a fall from the mountains of the Snowhead region due to a blizzard. The Deku mask is from the dead son of the butler who served the Deku king. You encounter him at the very beginning of the
Everything
game
you do
as
is
a
more
withered
like-
tree,
exactly.
his soul turned to a mask by the Skull Kid to curse Link. And to take it a step further, it was always a bit jarring seeing Link have to go through what seems like a painful transformation every time. Aonuma would actually be
I
asked
like
about
it.
these transformations by Game Informer and why it looked like it hurt so much for Link, to which he responded, "We're talking about masks that were created to contain the memories of people who have died. Often there are things they really wanted to do before they left this world, so becoming them is actually really painful because it's like hosting a really powerful spirit that's coming into you. After reading
And
all
he
of
just
these interviews, I
swaps
wonder
between
why
this one by
Aonuma hasn't
one.
directed an all-out horror game yet. So we head back to our main plot.
You know,
Link
I like
travels
his
to
shirt. I
each
really
region,
want a
guided
shirt.
by the advice of Tao. The first being the southern swamp and home to the Deku Kingdom,
You know, I
where he
want-
frees the spirit of the mask of Odalwa.
You know
major
those
boss
stereotypical like green shirts with like the Triforce on it? Like, you know from back with like memes, they would just like draw dweebs like nerds with like Triforce. I kind of want one, unironically. I feel like it's pretty funny.
For that area.
Let's
Next
go
is
on a
Snowhead
suit. I
Mountain,
don't want
the home of
one.
the Gorons, where Link defeats Goat at Snowhead Temple to free the second giant. The third giant is liberated from Hjorg in the Great Bay, home of the Zoras, and finally in the Ikana Canyon, Link will take on Twin Mold to free the final giant.
Light work, no reaction.
For those who engaged in conversations with Anju's grandmother throughout the game, they were treated to a fascinating nugget of lore about these giants. In the distant past, before the land of Termina was fractured into 4 regions, a single realm thrived with the presence of 4 benevolent giants. And these mighty beings made a pact to watch over the land's inhabitants, and if they were ever needed, a powerful call would summon them. But of course, there's a dark twist to this tale. One imp, feeling abandoned by his giant friends, spiraled into bitterness and began sowing discord across the 4 worlds. In
But now
response to
I
this
think I'm
menace, the people
surprised
of
that
Termina
Uniqlo does not
resorted
have
to
a
summoning
collab
the
with
giants,
Zelda.
leading
And
to
they
an
did one
act
with
of
Metal
exile.
Gear.
The imp was even more saddened that his old friends would threaten him, so he returns to the heavens to hide out from their anger, and peace was restored to the 4 worlds. This is a pretty obvious tale of Skull Kid's origins, and I think the implication here is that he was exiled from Termina and found himself spending his time in the lost woods of Hyrule. But let's see what he has to say for himself later at the end of the game. Each of these regions that Link visits has its own problems caused by the Skull Kid, which harkens back to the setup of Ocarina of Time and Ganon's influence on Hyrule. The swamp of the Deku Kingdom has been poisoned and their princess kidnapped, all while the Deku King is trying to put this monkey
Thank you,
to
Ren,
death.
the
What
Elden
happened to
Knight,
the
for the
princess?
follow.
The
Thank
Snowhead
you.
region is suffering an eternal winter as the Gorons can
You know,
only
I hate
look
how
to
the
a
Gorons all
transformed
look like
Link for
fucking
hope,
nudists.
thinking he's actually their tragic hero.
I think the
Darmani
Gorons is
III,
like the
who's come to
ugliest
save the
fucking
day.
race I've
In the
seen
Great
in
Bay,
Hyrule.
Zora Guitarist gives his dying wish to Link to save his vocalist Lulu's eggs that he was mortally wounded trying to retrieve from pirates. And Ikana Canyon,
You just
a
died,
region
I
filled
forgot.
with the undead after Skull Kid cast a curse,
I'm
causing
Mordit.
these monsters to run amok and roam free. The situation in Termina seems dire, and many have lost their lives or have been irreversibly cursed from the actions of Skull Kid. And much
I
like
don't
the
know,
side
thank you
quest
for
I
the
mentioned
follow.
earlier, each of these situations seem catastrophic.
If you had to
But
pick,
there's
would you
this
be a
persistent
Goron,
theme of
Zora,
hope and
or would you
acceptance
be-
that shines through all of these stories, with Link serving as the catalyst. All of these major
Or would you
quests
be a
and side
Rito?
quests must be completed while the player keeps an eye on the
Nice
3-day
shrimp
cycle.
cougar. Thank you for the
But with
follow.
the Ocarina of Time, Link has tools
Zora.
at his disposal to slow down or speed up time if need be,
Oh,
which comes
shit.
in handy so you're not rushing or waiting around too much throughout the game. Despite this, the 3-day cycle can still become a bit tedious, especially if you're a completionist. I think we tend to look back a lot on the story
What
aspects of
race
this
will you
game,
be
which
in
I think is
Zelda?
what makes it shine, but I have to mention that the time constraints do make certain parts of this a bit rough. Speaking of the story,
Zaku,
apologies,
you know what,
but
kill
I'm
you
going
if
to
you
go in
wanna
a
be
bit heavy on the
basic.
plot for the next few minutes, so bear with me. Once all the giants are free, the player can now face Skull Kid on the final day at the top of the clock tower. It's time for your fated rematch. The sequence of events will begin very similar to the first fight, but this time Link is prepared. He whips out his ocarina and plays Oath to Order to summon the 4 giants that he freed, all coming to his
You know, I
aid
forgot
as
how
they
we
stop
got
the moon
the Oath to
from its
Order one.
descent.
I don't remember where we got that one, like, song. I don't remember that one.
I still think this scene is awesome. I can't put my finger on why, but it just is. With the moon stopped, Tal and Tattle are reunited, but
You know,
this is not over yet.
Mom,
This
the
is where we
giants.
find out Majora's
And the
Mask
moon is
itself
your
was the
butthole.
one causing all the harm in the
Girl,
first place.
you're the
Taking advantage
moon
of a lonely Skull
my-
Kid to do its bidding. With this in
to my
mind, the mask throws
giants.
Skull Kid aside and ascends
Because
into the moon
to hold
consume
it,
the world.
I
so we
need
gotta
to
head
use
inside and finish him
all
off.
of my hands, and it still wouldn't fit in. Riz.
Huh. That's not what I was expecting. So if you went out of your way to complete all the side quests in the game, there's one last strange occurrence that happens
never said
before
I
it's
had
time
good
to face
riz.
the final boss. Within the moon are these 4 children, all wearing the mask of the bosses you've faced up to this point. And at the center, a child wearing Majora's mask. If you offer up your collectible mask to these children,
What happens
they'll
if
put
you have
through hide
masks
and
and you
seek
approach
trials,
Majora's
testing your
mask?
skills with each of the transformation masks. But as you find these children in each trial, they'll start asking these thought-provoking questions. Like,
Thank you, Gil and
if you do
Noel,
the
for
right
gifting the
thing,
sub
does it
to
really make
Elliot.
everyone
Thank you.
happy?
Damn!
But by the end of the last trial, you would have
I
given up
appreciate
all of
it.
your collectible masks. So when it's time to speak with the kid who has Majora's mask on, he gives
let
you
me
the
stretch.
fierce deity's mask, the last transformation mask and the most powerful mask in the game. It allows Link to transform into a Super Saiyan adult version of himself, essentially, but I find the description of the mask pretty interesting. Could this mask's dark powers be as bad as Majora?
Oh, they're bad.
All of these transformation masks possesses the soul of a deceased individual. Whose soul is inside this mask? This isn't really answered in game, but Game Informer did
Isn't this,
present
like,
this question to
collective?
Aonuma as well. The best I can give you is just a suggestion. The best way to think about it is that the memories of all the people of Termina are inside of the fierce
So
deity
it's like-
mask. Personally, this feels like a hand wave to me, but I'll take that explanation. And there's
It's
also
like
these
one
kids
for all
within the
in
moon
Boku no
here.
Hero
Who are they?
Academia.
They somewhat resemble the mask salesman, and one of them even says to Link, "Masks, you have a lot. You too will be a mask salesman?" People still speculate the meaning of these scenarios to this day, but let's
The
get to
children
the ending
don't want
first
us to be
before I present the
unemployed.
theories. So the child with Majora's mask asked to play a game of good guys against bad guys, with Link playing the bad guy. It's time for the final showdown with Majora's mask.
If I was Majora's mask, and then I would control your
Link
conscience,
will
would
have
you
to
still
face
put
the
me
evil
on?
within the mask itself, which evolves into two different forms: Majora's incarnate, which
I'm
for some
still
reason
with
is
a
doing a
diddler.
whole Russian squat dance, and the final form,
What's your
Majora's
enemy?
Wrath,
Which one?
a whole ass demon.
Majora.
Sometimes I think game developers ask themselves how they could scare the piss out of children back in the early 3D days. Anyway, once Majora's Wrath
Imagine
is
seeing this as like a
defeated, it
3-year-old.
evaporates from existence along with the moon that placed the future of Termina in the balance. Peace is restored, and Termina can once again see the dawn of a new day. We see Skull Kid make peace with the four giants once again, reassuring him that he is still their friend.
You'd be
and they
afraid
return
for
to
the public
four
with that.
corners
What
of
do
the
you
land
mean?
to continue watching over the people.
Not
Kid,
that bad.
overwhelmed with emotion,
Sure,
makes
my
peace with
morals
the
may be
situation
questionable,
and asks
but
to
I'm
be
not
Link's friend as
awful.
well,
God.
remembering the time where he played Saria's song for him in the Lost Woods. Just as a quick aside, this line here is debated whether it's Link or Saria that Skull Kid is referring to. I guess I'll leave that one up for you guys to decide.
Wouldn't it
but
be
I believe
Saria?
The main implication here is that this is the same Skull Kid you befriend in the Lost Woods. Even though I know there's multiple, I think they're trying to highlight that this is the same one. With the evil fully purged from Majora's mask, Link holds up his end of the bargain with the mask salesman, who finally claims the mask and
No,
bids
I
everyone
got beat
farewell
up too.
before disappearing.
Well, not really, because I
So
had the
Link, Skull
divine.
Kid, Tattle,
I had the
and Tal
deity
part
mask.
ways, with Link heading back to Hyrule.
And then I got, like,
as the
way too
Carnival of
excited
Time
and
can finally
overgrinded
go
off
on
stream.
without a hitch. The credits give some closure to the people of Termina that Link meets along the way, like showing the wedding of Anju and Kafei, or Romani and Cremia practicing archery together. And in the final shot, we see Link continuing through the forest as we zoom into a drawing carved into a tree stump, with Skull Kid, Link, the fairies, and the four giants being friends. And this is where we say goodbye to this incarnation of Link as a main character. Majora's Mask
Yeah,
is a
'cause he
Zelda
fucking
title that
dies.
leaves a lot for discussion even to this day. Like, the world of Termina itself is somewhat of a mystery, but is mostly
be a
chalked up as a
Zora.
parallel dimension to Hyrule, which I wouldn't think is too far-fetched since we've seen a few Zelda games already tread that territory. Somehow Link falls into this realm after chasing down a possessed Skull Kid, much like Alice stumbling into Wonderland. And if we take the legends of the four giants scaring off Skull Kid into another world, it makes a lot of sense that he fled to Hyrule to escape their anger, hiding out there before discovering Majora's Mask, which probably gave him the power and courage to return to wreak havoc in Termina in the first place. At some points within these events, he befriended Tattle and Tal, who helped support him when he felt the giants abandoned him. There are other theories from the Zelda Encyclopedia which hardcore Zelda fans don't seem to fully subscribe to, but it's worth
I know,
mentioning
almost gamer.
nonetheless. Their explanation says that after stealing Majora's Mask, a combination of the burdens in the Skull Kid's heart and the evil magic within the mask
You know, kinda
transformed
reminds me of, like,
Termina
the
into
tiger
this
thing
land
from
of races and people, constructed from
fucking
Skull Kid's
K-pop
memories
Demon
and
Hunters.
imagination, including the four giants as well. I don't know if there's much to prove this, so I
Man,
agree it's a
fairies
little
are ugly
strange
no
this
matter
would
what
be in
fucking
the Zelda
game you play.
Encyclopedia, but I would love to hear everyone's thoughts in the comments about that. Another mystery I see heavily discussed is the identity of the mask salesman, which isn't really answered within the game either. But it seems to be hinted at that he's some sort of magical being, whether that be a deity of some sort or just some guy with powers, which isn't too out of place in Hyrule if you think about it. I do think that this is meant to be a mystery left open to interpretation and doesn't have one true answer. But seeing as the children of the moon resemble him, it does leave more questions than answers. So while Majora's Mask didn't surpass Ocarina of Time in sales, it was one of the highest grossing games of that year, selling over 1 million copies, and in 2015, got a full remaster for the Nintendo 3DS. Many Zelda enthusiasts enjoy looking at this game under a finer microscope, drawn in by its more mature themes, but much like the game itself dealing with a 3-day time loop, I think with every playthrough of this game, there's always something new to discover and new emotions to feel with these.
You know what, you're kind of right. It is a pretty good game. As we close out into October for this year, I think this game has really appropriate subject matter since it's often remembered for its darker and horror-related aspects. That uneasy sense of dread, coupled with that cozy feeling of acceptance and love that we see throughout this game, I think it deserved to be talked about on its own. While the gameplay itself may feel a bit dated, the story structure and the character relationships here truly stand the test of time. You know, that's enough lore. That's enough lore. I think I understand. I know enough now. You know, that was... I kind of meant... I'm kind of sad that it's over. No, I'm not gonna play it again. I don't know, maybe I will. But I'm not gonna play it again on stream, but... Now I don't know what to stream on Thursday. I was gonna stream Majora's Mask again on Thursday, but I might just play the new game. What's that? I've been seeing this game for a while. What's the name? Umigari. It's something about like a fish. It's about fish. And I love Zoras. Maybe that. Or maybe I'll play Pokemon. But tomorrow, I'm gonna be playing Pokemon Adventures Red. Thank you, Shade, for the sub. Thank you. It's basically a ROM hack based off... It's based off the manga. Based off the Pokemon manga. And... you basically go through the story. It's a bit darker. Because it's based off the manga of Pokemon. And you actually play as Red. And I've tried it. I've patched the game. It does look pretty fun. Apparently, it's like really, really long. But it's been a while since I played a ROM hack. So I'm pretty excited for tomorrow. Thank you, RO8, for the follow. Thank you. One last plug. If you did... oh shit. It's too zoomed in. Wait a minute. Let me fix this. If you didn't know, I currently have a campaign going on with Makeship, and it'll only be here for around a little less than 2 days. Yeah, there's less than 2 days left. Less than 2 days for the Rina Fumo. Right now, we've sold 469. I'm very grateful. But I'm just letting you know that after like 2 days, there will be no more Rina Fumos made. Hi, Aeroscore. Thank you for the follow. There will be no more Rina Fumos made. It ends here. No more Rina Fumos. That's it. It's over. So if you're thinking, oh my god, Rina, you're so cute. You're so perfect. You're my god. I wanna fuck a Rina Fumo. Well, you only have 2 more days to decide on it. You want to buy an extra to make into your sex, so I don't really care. But yes, can't say no, won't nag at you. The perfect Valentine for this year. Get yourself a Rina Fumo. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't stream long hours because my throat is like basically dead from surgery. But I had fun. I had fun today. I had fun with Majora's Mask. And yeah, I'll figure out when I'm gonna be streaming on Thursday. But tomorrow I'll be streaming at 9 PM GST. And I'll be streaming the day after as well. I'm taking a break. Alright. Let's see on YouTube. I almost have no one to rate on YouTube because I stream an awful time. For I think most people, I stream a dreadful awful time. On YouTube, let's rate... On YouTube, let's raid Metro on YouTube. Yeah, that works out. Let's raid Metro on YouTube. On Twitch, where do I want to go? Let me see. VTuber. God fuck. Who have I not seen in a while? Let me scroll down. Let's see. Okay. Let's raid into Vivi. There you go. Let's raid into Vivi. She's streaming Power Wash Simulator, which is pretty fun. It's a pretty relaxing watch. Let's go. Vivi. Why is it lagging? Oh my god. Rina Fumo raid. Thank you for the streams. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it a lot. Good night. See you guys tomorrow. Sleep well.